Erica Lorraine Spencer here. This is the P.O.C. pattern of conduct, the ongoing real-time documentation of what is the criminal pattern of conduct of federal stalking in violation of 18 U.S.C. sections 2261A subsection 1 and subsection 2. This is the pattern of conduct underway by a public entity, that is the state of California, that is engaging in federal stalking in concert with the people of the state of California. So this is group conduct. And this is the practicing of what are the criminal elements of monitoring amongst what is the demon possessed. And so this is what is documentation of terrorism as it is underway by a public entity in concert with the people of the state who are in the shoes of the government as this criminal system is in ceaseless operation. And as the state engages in this demented group conduct, this is revealing how the public entity, that is the state of California, that is in the United States of America, how terrorism of an American citizen plays out, what that looks like, how that is facilitated amongst a people, amongst a government, how it is public corruption in plain sight, and not only that, how you formulate policy and how you prosecute that which is demonic conduct, it's demonic activity, but that which is in no way impervious to prosecution in federal court, and being subject to ratification into federal policy. This is the P.O.C.
It is Saturday, October 2nd, 2021, and what you will want to pay attention to is the video documentation that I just captured at 8:30 a.m. As I remain inside of the vehicle parked at 630 North Fern, and I'm capturing what is the ongoing evidence of stalking with light, which is terrorism as satanic targeting is practiced by the state of California. And this is the video of that which is not the sun, maintaining this ongoing presence in a perfect alignment with me. And as I am aiming my phone through the windshield of the vehicle that is facing south, parked on Fern Avenue at G Street in the city of Ontario at 8:30 a.m., in direct conflict with what I captured yesterday, where the state was placing its light source, that which is not the sun, maintaining this same alignment, the same placement over my head, the same location over any building that I am inside of, regardless of its location, regardless of its city, regardless of the direction that I am traveling in, by the way, as well. And so at 8:30 a.m., and so what I'm mentioning in the video, which is the immediate comparison that you will draw, but again, it is beyond just 24 hours ago, you are looking at the bigger picture of what is stalking with light. This is what the state is doing. This is what the people of the state are doing. All right. They are engaging in federal stalking, and it is the practicing of demonic activity, stalking with light, which is what the state is doing, because this is not the sun that is maintaining presence with me in the city of Fontana at Spring Street in Sierra while I'm inside of the Fontana Lewis Library and Technology Center. After having left the Upland Public Library where the state maintains its fake sun there, after maintaining its fake sun over me, for example, at state facilitating venue, the Ontario Ovid Family Community Library, and this is at the same time. All right, this is impossible to coexist while you're maintaining this presence over me. Okay, directly over me, directly in alignment with me. All right, and so you have what is the presence of the state's fake sun in the morning, and this is at 8:30, and it's again through the windshield. All I have to do is hold my phone up and it's directly aimed through the windshield while the state is aiming directed light inside of the car. Okay. And this is the comparison. What I'm speaking to is 24 hours ago, where I'm documenting the demons, because that's what they are. This is demonic activity. And this is why there's an arcade of light, a carnival of lights that surround while those demon possessed stalkers that are monitoring with the state that's dragging a light source in the sky to maintain presence over me. At 8:37 a.m., which I was drawing the comparison to the demon-possessed stalkers of the Ontario Police Department, who were engaged in documented federal stalking and terrorism at the state facilitating venue of the Ontario Museum of History and Arts at 225 South Euclid Avenue, where they are stalking in the path with the people of the state, having the absence of any form, engaging in that conduct of stalking and terrorism, while the fake sun is directly over the venue where I am at that time at 8:37 in the morning. I'm referencing August 29th, 2021. In perfect alignment with what is the Ontario Museum of History and Art, and the Ontario Police are maintaining perfect alignment with me under that fake sun at 214 South Euclid Avenue. Whereas, if you recall, like all of my documentation reveals, the state's fake sun isn't just there for that minute of 8:37 a.m. and then proceeds to travel west, for example. No, the state's fake sun remains over me, visible in alignment over my head, over the building where I'm at, for the duration of a day. So what am I capturing further at 8:29 a.m.? State's fake sun is nowhere near the city of Upland over the 7-Eleven at 204 North Euclid Avenue, or over Molly's Super at the intersection of First Avenue and D Street, contrary to what I just captured yesterday, while the Ontario Fire Department are crossing path the Upland Fire Department are crossing path in the parking lot under the fake sun at the Carnegie Library, and directed light is all over the pavement while the fake sun is directly over that building. All right, this is how the totality of that documentation works, and this is what you're looking at. At 8:30 a.m. through the windshield, and comparing what was at yesterday at 8:37, the state's fake sun remained in Ontario on August 29th, remained over me while I crossed the street to 214 South Euclid Avenue to get those demon-possessed stalkers of the Ontario Police Department and the third parties that were monitoring with them, because that's what they were doing in that unnatural environment, that impossible environment. It's impossible to naturally exist. This is not the sun that's remaining over my head, that's aimed perfectly inside of the windshield, that's in perfect alignment with me, even as I leave from a venue where you're documenting keeping this light source over me. That's supposedly the sun. Okay, so if I go to the city of Fontana at Spring Street and Sierra, and it's still maintaining perfect alignment, okay, that's called P.O.C, of stalking with light. That's a psychopath, and I just want to be clear. The totality of the pattern of conduct is what I am capturing, and the demon-possessed stalkers that are those state actors of the Upland Public Library that are very, very hostile because I am revealing their demented condition. They are stalkers, they are sex offenders, and they engaged in criminal summoning. And let me be clear, in the same way that this is Satan that is pacing back and forth in that demonic and demented and environment, while they're engaging in federal stalking using communication devices on the video of the internet, using the highways and the roads to engage in federal stalking, that is Satan that is engaging in the creation of a false narrative while they are engaged in unprecedented criminal conduct and engaging in criminal summoning. These are demons that are acting maliciously, okay? And those are demons that I documented engaging in raising their voice, creating a scene, fabricating a narrative because they are hostile, because I'm documenting their criminal activity for which they're going to be prosecuted for. Every word that came out of their mouth was audible activity. You're looking at those demons that were pacing back and forth inside of the study room in directed light, in direct conflict with not only the presence in the library while Upland Police are there, minutes later, not even minutes later, seconds later, as I walk outside, the absence of that fake sun over the library, and as I step and remain outside on the opposite side of D Street where the fake sun would never be visible, contrary to what I'm documenting inside of that library after 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, and I'm still capturing the state's fake sun where it's aiming directed light that's supposedly coming from the D Street side of the Upland Public Library. Well, I'm on the opposite side at the Arrow Highway, and the state's fake sun is not over the building. It's not over D Street. It's directly over my head. And then it's nowhere near that library at all where it's in alignment with me over Spring Street and Sierra in the city of Fontana, over my head while I'm on the bus traveling north up to Foothill Boulevard, remaining in my window in the same position, both as I travel north of Euclid Avenue and then as I travel east down Foothill, all the way through the city of what is Upland to Rancho Cucamonga to Fontana. This is the federal stalking that is systematically underway and speaking to the wide demon possession that I am exposing, okay? That demonic environment being maintained into the city of Fontana where federal stalking is underway, and that is impossible to coexist with remaining over my head like I captured on August 29th, 2021, where the Ontario Police Department were documented engaging in federal stalking, and the state's fake sun remained over my head for the duration of the day. Okay, in direct conflict with yesterday, yesterday at 8:37 a.m., and I'm just picking a time because the state keeps its fake sun all day long. But I'm showing you what is the essence of documentation and the demons as you are witnessing what is entirely a malicious and despicable and disgusting hypocritical conduct of the demon possessed. And those are demons that fill the Upland Public Library, very, very hostile because they know I've documented their license plates. They know I'm documenting the directed light, the impossible light activity. And not only the fact that I left that library and the state's fake sun, how are you getting this supposed sunlight through the ceiling of your building? The actual sun is not present. This is the same for the directed light inside of that elevator, okay, of the Ontario Ovid Family Community Library. It's over the elevator. It's over the staircase. State's fake sun is nowhere near over that building. So where's this direct light coming from Okay, so you're talking about the remaining of this light source, but like I've already shown, it's 8:42 a.m. and that is the revealing of the state stalking with light. This is the satanic. This is the psychopath. All right, and this is the necessity of what is policy. Harassment is inherent to the pattern of conduct. You're dealing with Satan himself operating through people. They are nothing. Literally, they're vessels of Satan, and this is what this entire pattern of conduct is about. It's demonic activity practiced in the state of California, and there is in no way any grounds for being impervious to prosecution while you are subject to what is demonic activity. It's going to be prosecuted as what is federal stalking and terrorism, because that's what it is. It's 8:43 a.m. and that is P.O.C.
4J80711. Group stalking at the Arco at the intersection of Euclid Avenue, and this is D Street, right across from the Chevron. The state is creating flashing of light. This is directed light while they are patrolling on D Street in relevant position, maintaining presence at the Chevron across the street in relevant position. And that is the sound of what was plane engines as the door of the vehicle was opened right now. They are maintaining presence at the gas station. The state's fixed is directly over this Arco. Caucasian female sitting inside of license directed light on the vehicle. BRH 7474 Washington. 5DVN 368. 8TGU 295. And it's 9:21 a.m. Nowhere near being over the Carnegie Library in the city of Upland, like I documented yesterday. 8DLB 863. That's P.O.C. It's 9:22 a.m. Ontario Fire Department in relevant position. 7YBT 605 on Euclid Avenue. And the state's fixed sign is in the passenger side of the window while driving north up Euclid Avenue. That's amplification of sirens. There's no emergency. This is criminal facilitation, federal stalking. 5NQB264. That's Ontario Fire. Lights and sirens 1332569. That's P.O.C. under the fake sun. 7W11588. 8PXZ262. Let's see. It's 9:23 a.m. 6NXF 640, I believe. This is facilitation. They're all monitoring to the lights and sirens. 8RCH096, and the state's fixed sun is maintaining alignment with me while we're driving north up the street. 8CEF018, 8JYD522, 5YCD088, 8CLK551, FJ223 handicap, 8JYG750, FedEx, 5VSR617, MEDAL EY208 handicap, EY206 handicap, 2ZHP432, 8FXC949, 8DBB293, 8VKT760. All right, this is federal stalking, and you're understanding how, as I've already shown, but this is another glaring example. The state's light source is already 24 hours ago stationary over me at the Carnegie Library in the city of Fontana at D Street and First Avenue. Contrary to that, it's 9:25 a.m. and the state's light source is in alignment with me in this vehicle while the Ontario Fire Department, well, I documented them on Whole Boulevard, and they're monitoring to this as well. But let me be clear, that was the Ontario Fire Department using the lights and the sirens on that vehicle. That's a criminal use of those emergency vehicles. That's to be addressed by legislation. To engage in criminal facilitation of federal stalking, it's the outward demonstration of demon possession in the same demonic environment. The state's light source, not over Carnegie Library. It's in alignment with this vehicle while I'm driving north of Euclid Avenue. 8UDF545. That's direct evidence against every documented actor, including the Upland Fire Station that was driving past in directed light under the state's light source at 9 a.m., okay? Where I was capturing this in the city of Upland. All right, it's P.O.C. and that is criminal facilitation, enabling everyone. That's terrorism, all right, by the fire department, as everyone around is monitoring to that activity. They're enabling that. That's terrorism documented by the Ontario Fire Department. That's P.O.C. 9:26 a.m. All right, it is 9:59 a.m. and I'm going to document what are the people that are surrounding under the fake sun. They're all monitoring together, holding like a festival or whatever they want to call this. And let me be clear, in the same way as Route 66 was, the same exact elements, the same exact environment. That's called criminal facilitation. You're seeing how public corruption fits into the template of the pattern of conduct, fits into any scenario you can fathom where people are present and where the state is keeping those, maintaining those elements. The ongoing pattern of conduct is underway, and molestation by my person, so I'm going to document the sex offenders, okay? That's one thing that I am very vigilant to be on. I am not one to be silenced where the state or any person is violating my person and violating my privacy and doing so in an egregious manner, and any other person suffering that. So I have to identify sex offenders, AEXV667. Understand, while the state molests my body with that which is not the sun, that which is not sunlight, you are touching, and not only that, you're a very violent stalker who happens to engage in a pattern of kidnapping. Yes, you better be sure I'm going to document it. I'm going to prosecute you for that. 8CXU191 is a sex offender with the state, while the state moves its fake sun from over me at that bench, okay? Now it's over my head as I'm walking through the parking lot. There is no form, and the demons are stalking using their cars, reversing in the parking lot. That's the license plate I just read. 8MMG482, 8PQE904, 6UHK037. 63834V1, and in the same regard, they are the same ones that engaged in criminal summoning yesterday. Okay, the people of the state. The third party aspect, summoning the state proper. That's the Upland Police Department, and the demons are monitoring together. Okay, 1568493, BNIC 2ME 7613782, 25839D1, 8LQN 635, 8T99030. That's audible activity under the fake sun, which is over my head. That's the state, 47637T2. Understand, the state is a sex offender as well. While you're touching all over my body in an unnatural environment, you are helping the sex offender while you're monitoring. That's how the system of monitoring works. 8NMR873. Group stalking, sitting in their car under the fake sun while the state sounds sirens. They're monitoring while they're touching with the state. AH54593 Illinois. 7SSW627. U-Haul is here. 7XEF248. 8NUA773. 7FB9. I'm sorry, 7FBG976. 8NU. Oh yeah, I read that one already. And right now it is 10 a.m. and I am at First Avenue and D Street. I'm sorry, it's 10:02 a.m. right now. This is BW57923, license 5WSB861, 8SNV227, 6ROX879, 5KJK819, 7AEJ717. Patrolling through the Upland Unified School District parking lot, 7DCH994. Those are demons. That's why I systematically captured directed light around their cars. It's not sunlight. These are demons. And that was a demon. Understand, that was Satan sitting in relevant position using that young female who kept her back to me. No form. P.O.C. 7YMH492. All right. That is license plate 4U. D4912. This is what demonic activity is, and that's what demonic activity looks like. It doesn't look like the Disney movie or Nick at Night or the movie Hocus Pocus. License BD73U04. 7LO9839. FSU PhD 5HKN 578. 7K 7KKS 595, 7KKS 959, 7XYKB 24,
And as I walk up the sidewalk, and again, demons are maintaining presence, so they're all just walking to their cars, closing their car doors, walking out, walking beside, they're maintaining presence. That's what group stalkers do. And understand, group stalker is the legal term for what are the demon possessed. You are prosecuting demonic activity as they are engaging in terrorism, while they want to obsessively engage in what is federal stalking, monitoring, and communication devices. 7 TAF 095. That's why directed light is streaming across the top of the Upland Unified School District building. Absolutely impossible light activity. That's the mark of demonic possession. 8ETB 477. Driving in a white Tesla SUV-ish type vehicle. 8WRK 650. It's 10:04 a.m. 48878Y2 7KIG 684 8. Let me see. YKY 189. See, 5JBE 906. Seven NTT 368. And this is traffic patrolling on D Street in Euclid. License plate. Demon possessed stalker 8KEV430. Directed light from the passenger side of their vehicle is 8TGU J437. The state is aiming directed light on the passenger side of the vehicle. The fake sun is above their vehicle, and as they are maintaining light on the surfaces around, this is demonic activity. As they are in relevant position, they're stalking in the path. Okay, it is 10:05 a.m. These are demons maintaining knowledge, acting as one entity. Let me show you the fake sun over the Upland Unified School District. No longer over me at where I was sitting at the benches. It has moved. All right, 10:07 a.m. I just wanted to show you a video and punctuating the point. You are looking at, in my video, where I'm sitting in the at the entrance area of the library on the bench. State's fake sun is not over the Carnegie Library like it was as I sat there in the shade yesterday. State's fake sun is right hovering over my head and invading, touching my person with that which is not sunlight, over my head with that which is not the sun. This is terrorism and the practicing of demonic activity while federal stalking is underway. And I'm showing you what is the picture of demon possession while this young lady, who is an example, because this is the condition of everyone around, while they are engaging in this federal stalking in that demonic environment, which is terrorism. All right. And like I said, Satan doesn't have to turn around and talk to you. Satan is listening to your bodily functions. Satan knows exactly what you're doing, where you're going. Satan is acting amongst the people. All right. And it's called demon possession. And it's based on your conduct, and it's based on the environment. It's not based on what you look like. All right. It's not based on your title. And so you were talking about my movement to the opposite side of the building. All right. And I want to be clear, if that was actually the sun minutes or earlier while I'm sitting on the bench, I would not be able to capture it while I'm facing the Upland Unified School District. It's right there, tailored over that corner, okay? This is the maintenance of presence as you're looking at what is directed light all around me while demons are crossing paths in their vehicles and they're walking by, they're maintaining presence. They are literally stalking as I'm walking around documenting. This is the psychopath. This is Satan pacing around, okay? This is the fake sun over my head as I'm walking around to the opposite side of the building. You are looking at what is the clear stalking with light. I mean, it's over the windshield at 630 North Fern Avenue in the city of Ontario. And how is it going to be ever over what is the Fontana Metrolink today when it remains here inside of the venue all day long? I've already documented that because the state is stalking with light. All right. So this is the practicing of terrorism, and that's what I just gave you another example of in the video. And I'm reciting the license plates of those that are engaging in that terrorism. And terrorism remains underway. And I am dealing with demons. Literally, I'm dealing with psychopaths who are engaging in the fabrications to engage in obstruction of justice. Let me be clear. These are psychopaths that I'm dealing with. They're threatening my life while they're engaging in federal stalking and engaging in what is sexual violence, and then engaging in what is colluding together in order to engage in criminal summoning with the police, using anything that they have at their disposal, which they don't have that at their disposal. I'm documenting the entirety of the entity. You're seeing how psychopaths act, though. That's exactly what I documented at the Upland Public Library, and terrorism is ceaselessly underway. It's 10:10 a.m. That's P.O.C. All right, it is 10:34 a.m. I just want to document the demonic pacing inside of the private space. And then you have what is the crossing of path as you exit the restroom. They're monitoring inside and outside of the bathroom, patrolling inside. So the demon-possessed stalker that is pacing back and forth enters the bathroom, pacing back and forth. That is them bringing their terrorism inside of the private space that is the restroom. All right, that's POC. That's on the surveillance cameras, and that's also what I'm documenting. And I want to be clear in relevant position in the male's room as well. This is POC, and this is the practicing of demonic activity as they're engaging in the pattern of conduct inside of the private space. That is a demonic possession while they're engaging in federal stalking while your panties are down, genitalia is exposed, following you inside and stalking in the path outside. So entering inside of the men's restroom, entering in and out of the women's restroom, maintaining presence with knowledge all around. Remember, the state is also stalking by plane and helicopter. Law enforcement officers are monitoring. Everything that is ongoing is public information amongst the demon possessed, all right, while federal stalking is underway. It's 10:35 a.m. That's POC. All right, what you will observe in the image that I took at 10:22 a.m., I'm capturing what is demonic activity, and this is while the demon possessed are engaged in federal stalking. They're monitoring on the video and the internet, utilizing communication devices to do so, and acting vicariously on behalf of and in concert with the public entity, the state of California. So I have not only captured what is the directed light, and just as I was describing yesterday, you're going to pay attention to what is, first of all, the maintenance of directed light, that which is not sunlight inside of the venue. And I clearly, vividly established that already. But when I left the Upland Public Library yesterday and went to the city of Rancho Cucamonga and Fontana, and the state kept its fake sun over me in those venues, you're witnessing, after prolonged documentation of what is directed light and not sunlight inside of this venue, while the state kept its fake sun through those glass windows as I aim my camera upward, and I'm showing you where it is over my head as I'm walking through the library, as I stand in any place on the first floor where the computers are. And that is the D Street, not the Arrow Highway direction. It is over D Street. Now, if that was the sun where I'm standing at the bus stop yesterday at 1:15 p.m., I would never be able to capture it in video while I'm facing the D Street side of the Upland Public Library, okay, while the state is aiming directed light as though that's sunlight coming from the sun that's above D Street, let alone the fact that that fake sun is remaining over the building all day long, okay? You have what is the placement of directed light as I walk in on the top level. You're looking at the trajectory of the light. That is the window that is facing that parking lot over the Carnegie Library, that direction, okay? And this is what I'm describing in a video as I enter the venue, and I just want to give some clarification because I'm pointing my phone, but you're looking at book stacks, and so I'm just painting the big picture how the state's light source literally moved all around the building, and then I go inside, and it has, remember, the state is tethered to where it's already placed its directed light, because the state is, again, acting as though this is the sun. You aren't necessarily doing that when you're placing a light source in the sky and you're supposed to just assume that that's the sun. So the state is acting as though this is the sun and that this is sunlight that is surrounding everywhere, regardless of the fact that it's absolutely implausible. Sunlight doesn't cause double, triple shadows. sunlight does not bounce off of cars like lasers. But aside from that asininity, I'm showing in every which way that this is demonic activity, this is terrorism, and the people of the state are the demon possessed that are engaging in this demented activity. And I'm going to thoroughly prosecute the Upland Public Library. That's also why I'm going through the extent of explaining what you're looking at and giving clarification of that video that I captured. On the second level, you're looking at what is directed light, and that is also, again, new and different and in conflict with where the state is placing its directed light at the top of the staircase, for example, in front of the entrance of the library. You have it on the side of the library facing what is the parking lot area, the Carnegie Library area. You have what is the video that I captured right before I enter, and that is after, again, this video that I'm capturing, where it's over the Upland Unified School District, which is along D Street at Euclid, not D Street at First Avenue, where the Carnegie Library portion of the building is. Okay, this is D Street in Euclid. This is an absolutely different location. This is on the opposite side of the entrance of the Upland Public Library. I'm capturing this video before I enter. All right, and before I went to the D Street and Euclid Avenue vantage point to capture the state's fake sun as it moved from sitting over me as I am at the entrance side of the library, sitting on the concrete bench. You have a demon-possessed stalker sitting behind me. She's maintaining presence, all right, and she is doing so, monitoring on a communication device while she's keeping her back to me. And this is the demonic behavioral pattern entirely focused on you. Everything about the environment is focused on you while this demonic system is underway, and demons placing their back to you as though they don't have any form, but that is the psychopath, okay? That's the psychopath that's serving you coffee drink or preparing coffee drinks for other people, right? In directed light, okay? This is the psychopath wearing the police uniform, crossing path under that which is not the sun and that which is not sunlight, and engaging in a random stop in relevant position using their police lights, their fire department vehicle lights, and doing so in that same exact environment. That's the psychopath, okay? They're stalking. And this is the practicing of demonic activity. This is terrorism, as those elements of federal stalking, light activity, relevant positioning are underway. Okay, and so you have what is the video that I capture, and this is what I'm explaining as I enter, and you're looking at just literally it's just random light. It's because it is not only is it inexplicable, it's like, how is this coexisting with on the opposite side of the building facing what is D Street? All right, you can see this is where the state keeps its fake sun through this window all day long, and this is what I was describing yesterday, the directed light that's on the floor of the library that is, first of all, when your back is to the emergency exits, because that's what you're looking at where the computers are on the first level, with your back to the exits, the state is shooting to the, I say to the left, which would be west. And I've already documented the state just changing their directions, just cycling light through all the way up and down and left and right throughout the entirety of the venue. All right, and you're looking at the opposing directions that the state is aiming this directed light. It's literally all over the place on different sides of the building, moving about and cycling all day long. Okay, and then you have what is, again, my documentation yesterday when I'm not even on that side, which is D Street, where I would never be able to capture the state's fake sun as it remains over the portion of the library where the computers are, and where I'm inside at that emergency exit area, I'm facing D Street. All right, I'm facing south. So where I am north of that location, I would not be able to capture the state's fake sun over Arrow Highway and Euclid Avenue, where the state's fake sun is clearly where it is, where they're engaging criminal summoning. The Upland Police are they're present in that same impossible environment, unnatural environment, pursuant to criminal summoning. Okay, these are the demon possessed acting together, all right, engaging in obstruction of justice and harassment by entity in that which is not sunlight, under that which is not the sun. Okay, this is speaking to what is federal stalking by the demon possessed. It's 11:21 a.m. and I just want to provide clarification. What I captured in images at 10:22 a.m. is a group stalker. She is standing what is in relevant position very close to my communication device. And that's what I take an image of. As she is maintaining relevant positioning, understand the focus is monitoring. So I have walked away to go get like some alcohol wipes, just giving you context. I walk away to go get some alcohol wipes to clean the surfaces where I'm sitting in the library. And as I do so, the state amplifies the sound of plane engines inside of the library. That's called audible activity, right? And let alone, this is what they are doing on a daily basis. And this is what's so hilarious. I mean, it's just,
this is why you just document psychopaths, okay? Because what I documented yesterday inside of the study room, which is suggesting that you're not even allowed to talk inside of the study room. That's essentially what. Actually, it's not essentially. That's exactly what the implications of that form of federal stalking and harassment means. That you're not allowed to talk, and that's in direct conflict with what these demons are doing, even right now. So anyway, I just want to be clear. Amplified plane engines while this group stalker is maintaining presence around my property, monitoring with communication device in hand, and directed light and under the fake sun. That's what I'm documenting. And then again, as I already documented, you are looking at demonic pacing around the bathroom and crossing a path as I exit the bathroom. They are engaging in the same demonic activity. This is terrorism in the private space. So this is prosecution of the demon-possessed stalker that's engaging in federal stalking and engaging in sexual violence as they do so. So you're looking at the intersecting avenues of the violence that the government is engaging in with the people of the state while federal stalking is underway, while they practice demonic activity. It's 11:23 a.m. and that's P.O.C. That's the fading out of sirens that are amplified inside of the library at 11:26 a.m. As soon as I start recording, they fade out. It's P.O.C. All right, 12:27 p.m. What I've captured is this is federal stalking on the venue of the internet. And that is the sounding of sirens. That's audible activity that is amplified inside of the library, by the way, with simultaneity to my operation of my communication device, meaning as I start recording this podcast. That's called stalking with activity. That is federal stalking by the demon possessed, okay? And that is the state, indicated by the use of sirens, amplification, speaking to demonic activity, all right? And what I'm documenting in screenshots as I'm using the Chromebook, this is the entity engaging in monitoring on the venue of the internet. And again, the criminal objective is obstruction of justice, substantial delay of internet. And this is the city of Upland engaging in federal stalking. This is Upland public Wi-Fi, okay? So I am connected to a Chromebook. That's a communication device. If you're not aware of that, I am using the internet. That's a venue in and of itself, utilizing interstate commerce. The ongoing environment is present. The directed light, the state's fake sun is over this venue. The state is stalking with audible activity, like you just heard, sirens, and they are engaging in stalking with activity inside of the venue. This is called maintenance of presence as they are engaging in monitoring. And this is the videos. I'm just showing you what is monitoring on the internet. And this is substantial delay of internet connectivity, interruption of internet. This is what monitoring is. And so I'm taking screenshots of it, literally direct evidence of what the state is doing as they are practicing demonic activity, engaging in federal stalking. This is also on what is Google Drive, and I'm capturing screenshots while I'm using the Chromebook as this is substantial. Just to upload, for example, a JPEG or a PNG. These are image files taking less than 0.5 seconds to upload to the internet. Okay, and that's just an example. So when I did a series of 9 images together, I believe it was 17, the delay results in what was a 54-minute wait to upload pictures, JPEG images. Okay, that's called monitoring. And so I did take screenshots of what is the substantial delay to upload the videos to YouTube. This is the same conduct. This is the same venue I was at yesterday. These are the same actors engaging in criminal obstruction of justice, harassment by entity, while they are engaging in federal stalking. Okay, this is the psychopath. All right, and so it's 12:30 p.m. That's direct evidence. That's the significance of the screenshots, and also the pictures that I do get uploaded. It just takes a prolonged period of time. Understand, just milking whatever they can, just trying to stop. However, again, this is the desperation as I'm documenting and exposing what is demonic activity. It's 12:30 p.m. That's P.O.C. Get this 7WAT837 and female on surveillance camera. I mean, they're all monitoring, but specifically right now, exiting at the same time I'm exiting, she's maintaining presence literally as I'm walking out the door. And the state's fake sun that's aiming directed light, which I just took images of, on that same area where the desk is on the first level, where it's remaining all day long. The state's fake sun is visible on the opposite side of the building. Directed light, license 8CEA615. Directed light is all over the side. It's hitting, again, the parking lot of the fire department, the Upland Fire Department. And when I'm exiting the Fontana Lewis Library. Yesterday evening, you have what is the Miller Amphitheater right in front of that entrance of the library, lit up with what is directed light under that which is not the sun. So this is the state's pattern of conduct of touching the surfaces, surrounding the surfaces with light. This is the stalking conduct with light. It's absolutely demonic. And this is the indication of the stalking conduct of the people of the state who are demon possessed. All right, this is a demonic monitoring system that the state of California is operating. And so I just want to first of all, I took a lot of pictures with regard to the state, and I'm making that immediate contrast what I documented as I left this venue that has already been heavily documented. And so going to Fontana, for example, is just an illustration of that which I've already illustrated, because it's already established when I left Ontario, and I actually already established this when I went to Los Angeles. Outside of this area, outside of the county, and the state kept its fake sun over my head, kept the fake sun in the window of the vehicle that I was on, i.e. Metrolink, and kept the state's fake sun over my head as I walked down the street, engaging in stalking with helicopter and airplanes, all right, flying around me, all right, the same exact pattern of conduct. So what I want to be clear on, I'm speaking to the existence of that system and the practicing of terrorism. And that which is terrorism is sexually violent. So you're talking about terrorists, because this is what the demonic are engaging in. They're engaging in terrorism, and they are sexually violent predators, all right, who are obsessively engaging and maintaining presence around you and monitoring with communication devices. And this is replete with that which is an environment that they maintain all around you, okay? And then you have what is the understanding of the psychopath, the outward conduct. Now, I have documented and have encountered demons that are totally outside of character, because the ordinary form, which again doesn't exist when you're prosecuting monitoring and terrorism, but the ordinary form of the target individual, this is public corruption that is existing. So the appearance is that this is normal everyday life, that everyone you're looking at is separate and distinct from one another, having nothing to do with each other. This is totally contrary to what is demonic activity as you are witnessing it. They are of one demonic mind in a demonic environment and achieving one criminal purpose that is highly demented as well, including sexual violence, because that sexual pattern, it's predatory in nature, as the stalker follows you inside of the bathroom, as the stalker is aware of what you're doing. This is based on what is demonic activity. They know what you are doing in the bathroom, and this is deducible based on that pattern of conduct as I have heavily documented it inside of the private space. The same exact stalking with activity, the same exact amplification of activity with simultaneity to what I'm doing. This is bringing knowledge that what I am doing is not private, it is public, all right? And then you have the entrance into that private space where they're already stalking around a relevant position, knowing what you're doing. Group stalkers engage in the stalking conduct, meaning stalking with activity pursuant to what they already know you're doing in the bathroom, and they enter in to maintain presence and create additional activity, which is also criminal facilitation that the state that's stalking in helicopter and plane and in law enforcement all around and the people all around can more effectively monitor. It is every ounce of predatory in nature and highly, highly demented. And so the images that I'm taking, I'm going to start from this morning. You're looking at what is pacing. You are literally looking, as you're looking at them walking in every direction. This is the demonic, and it is very, very disturbing when you are understanding what they are doing. These are literally, if you want me to give you a picture, I don't need to give you a picture because I've literally captured it. This is real life and it's not a movie, right? But they are essentially the living dead. I mean, you're talking about human beings that are walking around. They are the living dead. And when you're speaking of, and this is what I'm revealing, which is demonic activity, when I say Satan is pacing back and forth in a different person, but it's the same demonic activity. Do you understand? So you're looking at a different face, that same satanic entity operating over a multiplicity of faces. So you have all of them walking around, and you're witnessing demon possession amongst that group, and they're all engaging in federal stalking. They are pacing with knowledge of what I was doing in the bathroom, entering inside of the men's restroom, entering inside of the women's restroom, and what you'll see on surveillance camera as well is they're entering and exiting and entering and exiting. That's patrolling. Okay, this is literally, and I'm going to tie all of that together, Satan crossing path repeatedly and wanting to do that conduct, which is already that of a psychopath, in the bathroom while your genitalia is exposed, while you're physically indisposed. While these demon-possessed stalkers already know that you're using the bathroom, it's not like it's a mystery and they're entering to find out what you're doing. There's no question about the pattern of conduct. So I'm speaking to the state of mind. There's no question about the state of mind. They know exactly what they're doing. This is deduced from the pattern of conduct. And the ongoing demonic behavioral pattern of stalking with activity is present. The ongoing pattern of conduct is underway even before they enter inside of the restroom, all right? License plate of the African-American female who works in the library. I'm going to get this one right now. She's crossing paths. Headlights on is light activity. Exiting Upland Public Library. And again, I read it yesterday. I'm going to get it again. 8SSS 454. Okay. They are engaging in ongoing sexual violence. And at this time, at I'm going to say approximately 5:50, you have, as I'm exiting the restroom, while I'm in the restroom, the state is amplifying the sound of elevator, which is impossible audible activity. You cannot hear the elevator inside of the bathroom. The state is amplifying the sound of these demons of the Upland Public Library closing and slamming doors, okay? That's amplification of audible activity, all right? And you have what is their knowledge of what I'm doing in the bathroom. And so as I'm exiting, analogous to pacing all around in every direction, you have what is standing in alignment to the door. Okay, that is the same thing as crossing path, which is what I captured them doing as I'm walking out. The employees do that walking out of their adjacent employee doors that are, again, on opposite sides of the bathroom, and doing that also while they are standing around in the by the staircase. This is what they were doing, and they're stalking in the path. They're maintaining presence while they know you're in the bathroom. 6VAH356 is an employee parked in the Upland Unified School District parking lot. That's the license plate. I already read her license plate. They are patrolling around the parking lot in relevant position. Instead of driving forward, she just reverses. Understand she's creating light activity and doing so because there's nothing that's obstructing her ability to drive forward. It is currently 6:02 p.m. and what I want to get is the overweight Caucasian female who identified herself as the dean. She does not exercise, but she's taking a hike to get to wherever she's going. And I'm going to document her license plate. She is the one who joined the heavy brunette. All of them engaging in federal stalking, and what I documented was egregious harassment while they're creating a scene. They are the ones creating a disturbance and engaging in what is harassment by entity upon criminal summoning and federal stalking, while they are engaged in ceaseless bathroom monitoring. Okay, sexual violence. Okay, and this is the heights of hypocrisy by Satan himself, as I'm documenting, and understand that's the reality of what I'm dealing with. I'm dealing with psychopaths, and I'm dealing with the demonic, and so I am in no way shying away from that. License 5GVL421. That's a demon speeding through the parking lot. They're monitoring in directed light. So what I wanted to be clear on is the presence of the state's directed light, what you're seeing, aiming light literally on the same, and what I'm capturing. Okay, let me just take a step back because I want to make sure that you understand. Not only you already know that this is impossible to be the sun because the state's fake sun is in alignment with me at Spring Street and Sierra in the city of Fontana while I'm standing in the window of the Fontana Lewis Library. All right, and it's over my head in the window of the Omnitrans bus while I'm traveling both north away from the Upland Public Library, and while I am traveling east on Foothill Boulevard into Fontana, into Rancho Cucamonga. And so this is clearly the psychopath, and that's the issue with policy and what's necessary. You have the absence of any form, and you have that determination in the where they have been stripped nude, if you will, stripped nude of all forms, showing exactly what they're engaging in, and there is no question. Keeping that fake sun up, keeping that directed light up, engaging in even more of it as you reveal bare bones what the situation is, and there's no question about what I've documented. There's no question whatsoever. It is clearly established. This is speaking to the creation of policy because you're looking at what is a very dangerous psychopath. All right. Let me get license plate. S.I.R.M.O.T.A. Directed light way behind him while he's already turned the corner. It's ridiculously impossible. That's a demon. Okay. License plate. I want to get the coward, and this demon knows that I'm walking and gonna get her license plate. So she's just trailing through Old Town Upland. 57003X1. And while I'm here, I'll document everybody's license plate. BAMSLEX 8EEC 869, 8GSF 898, 7EFN 270, 3MXU 922, KW12NA N4N, excuse me. That is a Tennessee temporary plate. Let's see, license plate 8GFT 969, 69586R1, NXFUNDS 8GZC 703, 69586R1, 8MHK 68, yeah, I read that one already. 8VLL371, 7ZRV927, 6FMA240, 7ZGU132. I'm holding back laughter because this stalker that identified herself as the director, I think, the director at the library, disappeared. Okay, she disappeared into thin air and walked far away from the parking lot where she parks with the rest of the employees. She didn't park there. Let me be clear that this is demonic activity and they're monitoring and know that they're being documented. I'm still documenting the same entity, but that's why I'm laughing, because it's so pathetic. But this is the demon-possessed stalker that was engaging in harassment, and that's a matter of record. It's a matter of documentation that is published, and the entirety of the entity not only is going to be prosecuted for that, I'm going to specifically I'm going to tailor her prosecution and that venue's prosecution. 8TIN028, 8PVJ733, 8XOV127, 8JKX233. These are demons just in a line, so they're just driving through the parking lot, okay? 8WFR835. These are the demons that are walking past me repeatedly at the entrance of the Lewis Family Library, and I'm showing you the three shadows of my one leg, okay? That's exactly what they're doing. It's demonic, and they're stalking. 8PKN652. They're psychopaths. 8VFD895. 7RNR442. 7PXC493. KMIE. DO, and 7RNR442, monitoring with minor child, engaging in terrorism with minor child. 7VBB111, HCANDO. 7JSW838, 6WTL090. It is 6:07 p.m. 8WFR835, in case I didn't read that one already. All right, 8C89868, in case I didn't read that, that's a white van parked over here. I'm in the old town upland, like historic town upland. 8VQK771, 8JHY989, 6CNG512. It's just a line of demons and their cars are repeatedly crossing path. Remember, the state's directed light is always present, and the state moves its fake sun from its stationary position along D Street, okay? This is how you get what is directed light across the Upland Fire Station, where it's keeping directed light on the D Street area along that wall inside of the library as well. 8WYT033. If it's high enough to cover that area, then how is it aiming light downward at a trajectory in an angle inside of the depths of the library? But it's 2XLF579. This is a psychopath. This is demonic, okay? This is literally psychopaths that are not normal. And so I have stripped them of their form of normalcy. 8VPW735, 8MNS474, and I'm actually going to prosecute them and treat them like the demented that they are. All right, and this is contrary to the image that California likes to put out, and I'm giving you the reality of what California is about and what they do out here, and it's very, very abnormal. 21370C2. Whew, and they even look the part. License 7XCN675. It is 6:09 p.m. And like I said, as I even capture the images inside of the venue, 8FMM492, 5UMM317, it's already established what the state is doing, and I even punctuated that as I went to Fontana yesterday. 7XCN675, and not only that, this is already established the state's fake sun, and I even referenced it in my documentation that I published in video on my website, thepatternofconduct.wordpress.com. And you have what is the contrast that you're going to look at as you're witnessing what is stalking with light. And there is no possible way that the actual sun, because that's what this is not, this is the state's light source as it's practicing terrorism in the state of California, monitoring American citizens. And you have what is license plate 8WKH771, 8HAX247. You have what is the impossibility of the state's fake sun, for example, as I captured it squarely over my head at the Ontario Police Department at the same time, 4:04 p.m. On today, I'm capturing inside of the venue after I went to Fontana, and it is in alignment with me. All right, the state's light source while I'm inside of the library at Spring Street and Sierra in the city of Fontana. All right, and it's so low that light is reaching inside of the depths of the venue. All right, the state suggests a lot about the placement of its fake sun as well by the directed light, even though you already know, as I've explained and I've demonstrated, that you know that that's not sunlight, but still the state is stuck with, as a matter of documentation, because it is acting like engaging in conduct such that it is the sun. It informs you about what the state is doing and what is necessarily the case if you're going to suppose that that's sunlight reaching inside of a building like that. All right, and so this is why I take images of it, not only because it's clearly not sunlight, but because you're looking at the pattern as you're understanding how the state engages in the pattern of conduct. 8FVH249. And what is demonic activity? And that this demonic system, which is federal stalking, is centered on the demented methods of engaging and monitoring. Okay, so every element as they engage in it is based on practicing Satanism. All right, you're talking about the use of light, the notion of following someone with light, invading a space where it would ordinarily not be lit up, where it would be shaded, but not where the state is governing. I'm sorry, well, if they are governing the system, but not where the state is engaging in this system where light is preeminent. It's always present. All right. It is always invading and molesting and following, arriving. Okay. Where there is no light, there will be. All right. That's exactly what I captured on the bench this morning. All right. Where I'm sitting on the concrete bench. It was fully shaded. And as I said there, the state just continuously moves that light source, and that's directed light because it's not sunlight, moves that light source over. It's already sitting over my head. So the state is moving directed light gradually to molest my whole body with directed light because the fake sun remained there. Remember, the fake sun doesn't move from being above me. So I'm sitting there and the fake sun is right there, but it's shaded. The state is gradually molesting and covering and invading, in other words. This is terrorism with its instrument of monitoring. Okay? That's the pattern of conduct. All right, so that's Metrolink engaging in P.O.C. And I published substantial documentation on my website that has already been published on YouTube, for example, as far as my video documentation of the criminal activity that Metrolink is engaging in right now, and as I engaged in documenting it in 2020. It is 6:12 p.m. And that overweight director of the Upland Public, NXFUNDS, I already got that one. They're crossing paths in the fake sun. She disappears. So I guess now she was able to take a jog. She disappeared into thin air. She fled like the demon that she is. I don't have a problem documenting her license if I have not already gotten it. But it's neither here nor there. The venue is documented. The entity is one, and nobody is getting away with anything. She's documented on my podcast and on the website. So anyway, I just find it funny, and this is the reality of the demons that I'm dealing with, that I encounter, and that's why I tell them to their face that I am going to prosecute them, and I'm going to show them to be the psychopaths that they are, because I don't have to lie. I don't have to exaggerate. This is a reality, and it needs to be known what the reality is. It needs to be known. So that is the what I was kind of holding back laughter on. So with regard to the state's placement of its fake sun, I want to be clear, and then I'm going to cut through to the images and what you are looking at, and as far as the elements are breaking down. And also, you're going to just recall, this is not only is it already established, I've already established this, but you're looking at what is a psychopath. Okay, I've already established the pattern of conduct. I have already established this is demonic. You are witnessing what is a psychopath. Now, I don't expect the state to just concede and just be like, okay, fine, we're going to stop with the fake sun. That's not what I expect, and that's contrary to what is the demonic. Okay, the state does concede it'll have a cloudy day or something, and then it'll try to pick it right back up like you forgot all the documentation. That's why you document. Okay, so you have what is time of year. There is no argument. There's no angle whereby you can make any of what I've documented with regard to the state stalking with light and directed light normal. It's not. All right. And it's the direct evidence against the entity
the third party and the vicarious aspect of the entity. And today, while I am not in Fontana, after having gone yesterday, this is direct evidence against the San Bernardino Sheriff's Department and maintaining relevant positioning while I'm on the venue of Omnitrans under the fake sun that is remaining in my window, just like you see in the morning when I'm being transported from Ontario to Upland. All right. Just like you've already seen as I'm being transported, for example, in the totally opposite direction, which is going east on Hope Boulevard, like I referenced in that video, where I'm going to Upland, where I'm going to, for example, the TAD office, the Human Services Department, San Bernardino County, where they're monitoring. And that's why the fake sun is over their venue, which is also, this is the totality of the documentation. That is impossible to coexist with the state's fake sun being over me at Molly's. Super. And that's exactly where it is, all right? And you have what is maintenance in the presence of the path in that impossible, unnatural environment. But what you are witnessing is a psychopath. This is the grave danger that the government poses as it is engaging in what is obsessive and demented stalking conduct. That's what you are witnessing as day in and day out directed light continues in this clear disregard of what is obviously, I mean, anybody, any surveyor will be like, how is that the sun, right? Because I've so thoroughly revealed not just the fact that I'm in one place, but okay, since you want to question, and I already anticipated that, because I know that this could not possibly be the sun that is concerned. Why is it over my head and over where I am every single day, everywhere I go, irrespective of where I go? Okay, that's not the sun. That is impossible to be the sun. And then not only that, you're seeing the prolonged remaining presence of this supposed sun. And so that's terrorizing when you become aware of that. And again, this is legislation that is designed to enforce the rights of the one who is aware. For many years, you may not even be aware that you're being monitored by the government. Terrorism is based on knowledge. Okay, you know that you're being followed by the state, and it's terrorizing because the ordinary target individual may not even know how it is occurring, or who specifically it is, or what they are all doing. Okay, but you suspect that they're doing something. You know, everybody has instincts, whether you have discernment or not. People are born with instincts. And so you are suspecting that is terrorizing in and of itself, all right? And that is gravely terrorizing, where it is everyone around you where you're suspecting, but you don't know why. I've been there and done that, and I resorted to what is documentation and breaking down what these people are doing. They're doing something. They're doing it together, and it's going to take proof in order to establish that. So you have what is terrorism at every end, okay? And then you have the very elements themselves as they're engaging in federal stalking. That is terrorism as they engage in those elements, okay? And as you are maintained in that environment, that is terrorism, all right? It's absolutely illustrative of the psychopath that's in front of you in relevant position, that's flying around you, that's driving all around you, including 8B, NT, 8RNT 584. So this is terrorism in every way. And then it is the demented practices of the demonic. Okay. That is terrorism by the abnormal. 8PHG 584 or 594, excuse me. That's terrorism by the abnormal. Okay. And so I just want to break that down with regard to the images. I'm going to go over that in my next little snippet right now. I'm going to cut this short. I really wanted to speak to what is the presence of clearly abnormal presence of light. And this is after having gone to Fontana. And understand, my going to Fontana was a move of documentation of the whole entity. But what am I focusing on? Small picture. That was documentation of the Upland Public Library as I went to a different venue. Okay, I went to a different area. I went to a different region from this venue. Okay, that was documentation of the Upland Public Library. You return, and that is how you are seeing the psychopath. All right, the psychopath who has been stripped of it. There is no covering over what they are doing. There's no covering of what is going on. And you're seeing the grave danger that the government presents as it engages in this obsessive ritualistic stalking system. Okay, you are talking about obvious, glaring evidence that is being provided, generously provided, and it's going to prosecute the entirety of the entity. 8EVB668, and I don't even need it. All right, but that is speaking to the level, the mental state, okay, which is speaking to the direct threat posed by the state engaging in that system, Okay, this is unstable. This is mental instability. Okay, aside from knowledge of right and wrong, this is not insanity. All right, this is instability. That's what a psychopath is. Knows right from wrong, intends and is determined to engage in it. And you're talking about the unstable one times infinity, if you will, because it's a government. It is the people engaging in what is conduct on behalf of Satan himself. All right. Satan is a spirit. You cannot see him. Satan is operating through people. All right. And so, like I was speaking to the picture that I'm showing you, while you're talking about demons that are pacing around in front of the bathroom, that's what they're doing while I'm in the bathroom. That's what they're doing inside of the bathroom. And what is the form? How do they try to appropriate this demented conduct? They're walking in and out of stalls like you would expect them to be doing in a bathroom. These are demon possessed that are stalking in the path, in that environment, creating activity for that criminal objective in concert with the state. All right. And everything that's going on in there is being broadcast, if you will. It's public information, not only because they're monitoring, but because these are demons and they know what you're doing. So it's literally disgusting. And so you're talking about engaging in that pattern of conduct with minors, engaging in the contribution to delinquency as this sexually violent and demented and twisted system is underway. That's why I point it all out, because this is going to the level of prosecution for each and every method employed to engage in that. Okay. It is currently 6:21 p.m. And I'm going to provide some more analysis for the images that I took of the demon possessed inside of that state facilitating venue of the Upland Public Library. License 5XSK09. I'm sorry, 5XSK889. And the fake sun is in alignment with what is D Street, the same street I captured at 10 o'clock in the morning. That's P.O.C. 5SNS063. Okay, 7:48 p.m. is when I originally recorded my podcast, and so this is documentation of what is federal stalking, serving obstruction of justice upon documentation. So again, the pattern of conduct, you continuously hearing it while you're hearing the whirring of traffic in the background. Those are demons that are driving by, engaging in the ongoing sexual violence that I was documenting, and I took a screenshot of what is monitoring. So this is the obstruction of that podcast recording that was captured beginning at 7:48 p.m. and that is ongoing corroborating documentation of the very thing that I was speaking about. So I'm going to document, and I'm also going to publish that screenshot, which is the ongoing, this is the psychopath. This is exactly what I was describing. This is the psychopath that engages in that ongoing terrorism with awareness of what you are documenting. That is the psychopath. That's not insanity. And this is the threat waged to the life of the target individual. So I took a screenshot of that right now because I recorded my podcast speaking to what the state was doing, and I'm going to document that sexual violence. And as I completed this podcast, it's obstructed from being able to save it. And so that's an act of monitoring. That's monitoring on the venue of the internet while they are continuously crossing path and directed light is still whirling all around in the car. I mean, these demons and when I say these demons, that's exactly what I mean. These are the people of the state of California and the government that are possessed with demons. This is satanic. Everything that I'm surrounded by is satanic. Okay. These are those who are compelled by Satan himself. Satan is invisible. You're looking at the person who is being compelled by a demonic spirit in a demonic environment. This is the reality. I am exposing it, and I am going to prosecute the demonic. It is called federal stalking upon terrorism. All right. Of that which is monitoring with communication devices by obsessive stalkers. They are practicing satanic ritualistic stalking conduct while they're monitoring with communication devices on the venue of the internet and doing so as a gang. All right. This is terrorism.
government. Indeed, the people are the very instrument whereby a government is engaging in it. The government can't do it without the people. Okay. And this is literally a people and a government practicing satanic, ritualistic, targeting conduct. It is the use centered on the use of technology. This is federal stalking, is how you would refer to it under the law. Existing legislation exists for addressing what they are doing. But again, I am revealing that which is never contemplated, where you are witnessing what is the malice, the unprecedented malice with which the demon possessed, that are the people of the state, act as they are engaging in a stalking and monitoring system with the government. Okay. It is the very terrorism. And so while I'm sitting inside of the vehicle and I'm uploading to my Google Drive, this is federal stalking. While they are crossing path, and this is the pacing conduct, they are doing it in the exact same environment. I have shown during the day, I've shown at night, what are the ongoing methods of directed light. The pattern of conduct is underway, and there is absolutely zero form. So you are engaging in crossing of path. You are not driving by. You are engaged in the state's pattern of conduct as you are crossing path in a vehicle, walking by, riding a bike, whatever it is that you are using as your means of crossing the path, where you are engaging and monitoring with the state in the state's environment that is deliberately created and that the people are contributing to maintain. All right, all around the target individual, which is the practicing of terrorism, while this entirely satanic group conduct is underway. All right, these are demons that are acting collectively to maintain presence and to maintain a satanic environment. All right, this is while I'm sitting in the vehicle, and these are demons, and just like I showed, and this is what I was stating, while I'm at the Fontana Lewis Library and Technology Center in the city of Fontana, this was a very vivid picture of what is ongoing at all times. When you are made aware, understanding what I have pointed out as the elements, they are always engaging in the elements. The elements always are present. They are always present because monitoring is underway. There's never a time where you're not being subject to monitoring. Okay, and the criminal elements of monitoring, which is the federal stalking aspect, but understand these same elements. This is the practicing of satanic activity. This is exceeding their federal stalking system. Okay. This is why, while I'm kidnapped by the San Bernardino Sheriff's Department and I do not have any communication device on me, they are engaging in the criminal elements of monitoring. This is the ritualistic, satanic practicing of a government and a people. Okay. And so just as I shown in the city of Fontana, and I'm sitting outside and I'm showing you my leg, my one leg, as I'm shaking my leg and then moving it up and down, and you see three shadows, that's called directed light. That's called the state's engineered light, magnified light. This is always present. And this is also what I've captured in images today in the Upland Public Library. This is present every day. But this is what the state filled with and did so. Did so after it would be the same. I was about to make the contrast with Fontana, but let me be clear. I've already established this and made the point. When I'm going from the Ontario Ovid Family Community Library, this cannot possibly be the sun that's remaining over D Street, in the window space or over the building, anywhere over D Street or Euclid Avenue at that end anywhere over there. The 7-Eleven, nowhere over there, because the state has already established keeping its fake sun on Holt Boulevard. The state has established keeping its fake sun over literally 435 South Bonneview, the Mercy House venue in the city of Ontario. The state has kept its sun there, been there since 7 o'clock in the morning until the evening. And the state kept its fake sun over that building, that address, the gates of that location. This is what the state is doing. It is already established as impossible. Okay. What the state is doing is going from place to place to place with its light source, as I have been documenting it from place to place to place. And as I did yesterday in the city of Fontana, this is clearly, and like I said, like it's already established, but this is showing what is the psychopath. I have already demonstrated that this is the pattern of conduct. I have already demonstrated that this is ritualistic satanic activity. Okay. I have demonstrated that this is the people acting in concert with the state. What you are now witnessing is the threat waged to the life of the target individual, where and this goes without saying, where the government is engaging in stalking and monitoring. That's an ongoing threat. That's a credible threat. It exceeds a credible threat. That's the ordinary language of a criminal statute, where under traditional stalking, this is nothing traditional about this. This is never contemplated, and this is that which was supposed to be maintained as a fallacy, and it's not. The government is stalking, the government is monitoring, and this is that which exceeds a credible threat to the life. This is the impermissible threat, and the government engaging in that, showing itself to be the psychopath, not only as it engages in the criminal elements of monitoring, light activity and relevant positioning, which is satanic activity, as you're looking at how they engage in those elements. All right. The molestation with directed light, which is what the state was doing while I was uploading my images to the Google Drive. These are demons that are driving by in their car, and their headlights are not aiming down onto the feet. Onto the passenger side, into the depths of the passenger side, where my feet are laying, where my legs are laying on the passenger side door, onto my breast and on my chest and around my arm, crawling across me like a cockroach. All right. This is what the state is doing with light while it is molesting my body. Okay. This is the reality of the sexual violence, and that's terrorism, while it is utilizing that to engage in federal stalking, but also to engage in what is sexual violence. That is the touching, just like any other unconsented touching by a very dangerous stalker. That is the state. Okay. And that is every documented actor, every single last one, whether identified as Amazon Prime, whether identified as an apartment complex, an entire third-party facilitating venues such as Metro 102 apartments. Every single last one of them are in relevant position. This is the downfall of monitoring with a government. The government is doing it through the people. All you have to do is document, and there is no excuse from that prosecution. All right. There is nothing superseding the ongoing wage to the life of that targeted individual who was subject to that perpetual sexual violence, to that stalking by a government, and every third party is in the shoes of the government. And so let me be clear. Amazon Prime, for example, and I'm only using that example because I just stated Amazon Prime, so I'm going to stay with that. But again, Amazon Prime is not by themselves. Amazon Prime represents the ordinary commercial actor, who are the people of the state. Okay, that's the people of the state using a brand, thinking that they would get away with engaging in the criminal elements of monitoring because you're working for a business. You're looking at the malice of the people. This is a demon working for Amazon Prime, engaging in the satanic pattern of conduct, and you're going to prosecute for terrorism. So like I said, you have what is the identification of the people of the state, and every single last one, whether they are identified commercially, because you don't know their name, you can identify that brand where the pattern of conduct is underway and there is no form and there is nothing superseding that ongoing threat to the life of the target individual. And you're witnessing what is a psychopath, as you are clearly witnessing and understand the entity that is monitoring your documentation also understands the significance of what you have documented. This is exposing none other than the threat to the life that is posed. It's an impermissible threat. While the state engages in kidnapping, this is an impermissible threat, impermissible under the law, and everyone is going to be prosecuted for that. That's across the board. Where you hold hands with the government and you monitor, you are, and let me be clear, not only is this based on, this is a justified policy, and it's also inherent to the pattern of conduct. This is a group system. It's group stalking and it's group monitoring. So this is necessary. But let me be clear. The people of the state are demon possessed. They are fully engaging in the satanic elements of monitoring together. It's not as though I'm trying to tether them to something that the government is doing by itself. No, this is not the case. And I've shown that by the documentation. They are one in one. What you are looking at, the images that I'm going to publish about the Upland Public Library today, after the fake sun is nowhere near remaining over D Street, contrary to what I just documented today. Okay. Not even that, even before returning to the Upland Public Library, because I've already documented them. You have what is, before coming to Upland from Ontario, I heavily documented Upland Public Library before I got to the Upland Public Library. Okay. The fake sun is over your venue. You're engaging in P.O.C. The state, that's clearly not the sun that remained over the entrance, over the building of every other venue where I've gone and isolated the P.O.C. such that the system can be understood and palatable to the ordinary onlooker who is seeking to understand what is group stalking, what is this system that that public entity engages in concert with the people. So this is clearly not the sun that is going to be over D Street in the city of Upland, where it's clearly remaining over the building of the, for example, Ontario Over Family Community Library, remaining over the strip of street at C Street and Lemon, the turn circle. It's remaining there. So how are you ever at the same time or at any time before or after where you are following from the museum or you are following from wherever it is that I'm remaining to that location? All right, wherever it is I'm going, but I'm just going to use the Ovid Family Library, for example. You are never going to be captured over D Street, which is what the state engaged in again today. After, by the way, I went to Fontana from this venue, and the state's fake sun is over Arrow Highway, which is on the opposite side. It's not even in the direction of what is D Street, where the state kept its fake sun. At 1:15 p.m., I'm capturing it. It's right over my head at Arrow Highway in Euclid. And
I pointed this out in the video yesterday at 1:15. And so while I'm inside of the venue today, just to give another vivid illustration of exactly what I am describing, I know exactly what I'm talking about, and I give it so that you can see it with your own eyes if you're not clear on what I am describing. But I think that you are. I'm making it such that there is no way of getting out of claiming that there is some circumstance whereby this is possibly anything other than what I am explaining and revealing that it is. There's no way of getting out of it. So I'm at Arrow Highway. The fake sun is over my head at 1:15, in direct conflict with it remaining over D Street, where I am facing east, looking at the fake sun over me, moving in alignment with me as I'm inside of the venue, aiming what is not sunlight. This is directed light that remains inside of the venue. I'm outside of the library yesterday. Don't ever return to the Upland Public Library yesterday. The state's fake sun is nowhere over the public library, and that's immediate upon exit with the Upland Police Department, by the way. That was within minutes. You're paying attention to every single detail. I'm going to thoroughly prosecute for this terrorism that is unprecedented, that's ongoing in the United States of America, okay? These are acts of terrorism when you are understanding what the state is doing, and this is why I'm slicing and dicing. You have to understand and look at the details and seeing what the state is doing. And then you can appreciate the magnitude of the violation of an American citizen as a government engages in this entirely demented and satanic conduct. Okay. So you have what is the impossibility of ever being able to see that light source that's over Arrow Highway and Euclid behind the library. And by behind, I mean north of D Street, where there's no way to see Arrow Highway from that window, from that door at all. All right. And in direct conflict, this is showing what is the psychopath that is monitoring the documentation, that engages in aiming even more magnified light through the depths of that library. Because understand, they were doing that before. This is the demonic conduct. This is the demonic character speaking to the psychopath that I'm documenting, speaking to and what does that go to? That goes to the impermissible threat, the threat to the life of the targeted individual. All right. Which you prosecute for. All right. You prosecute for that experience supplied by a government. And the government is acting through every single identified actor via license plate, image, address, commercial company. All right. They are all in the shoes of the government, and the government is present through them. So you have what is the impermissible threat. While this is clearly not the sun over D Street, and it follows that this is not sunlight that is remaining, and this is magnified light. The same magnified light, by the way, that I am capturing the same day, and by the same day I'm talking about yesterday before I left the Upland Public Library on October 1st. And while I'm standing in front of the City Hall, which is directly across from the Upland Public Library, this is the same venue, essentially. You have what is magnified size of my shadow. Okay, I'm 5'5". The shadow is about almost 6 feet tall. It's huge. Okay. My legs are huge. My feet are huge in the shadow. My coat, this is what I'm showing you. It's a magnified light, engineered light. That's the state's directed light. While I'm standing outside, this is covering the space. The state is aiming this directed light inside of the Upland Public Library for me to capture in images. Okay. This is the psychopath that knows it's being documented and in no way suggesting that it is anything less than the fake sun, that it is anything less than engineered light and not sunlight. That's the threat to the life. That's the psychopath. Okay. This is the practicing of demonic activity. And let me give a picture if you've ever seen like any gangster movies, even though I am not equating this entity with any gangster movie, but I'm talking about the character of the antagonist. The character of the antagonist, one that does not succumb well to defeat. Okay. So you're talking about the one that does not drop the gun, doesn't drop the weapon and just raise their hands and come out. You're talking about the one that goes out via suicide. Okay. Raises a gun and then gets clobbered. All right. And kills itself in that way. All right. And this is what I'm documenting. That's the psychopath. That is the state of California. All right. What is engaging in refusing to back down. This is how you're creating policy. This is how you are understanding the psychopath. That's the sex offender that is aware of what you're doing in the bathroom, that is engaged in repeated acts of kidnapping, that is stalking you everywhere that you go, that is engaged in a perpetual sexual violence, sexual offense against your person with its criminal instruments of that which is not naturally occurring, touching you with creepy directed light all over your breast, all over my chest. This is what the state is doing while I'm uploading images to Google Drive, while the demons that are the people of the state are driving by one car after another. Shoo, 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 shoo. And you've got directed light all inside of the vehicle and across your body. This is terrorism.
All right. And that's a sex offender that is also violating you while they're engaging in terrorizing you. These aren't headlights that are touching on your feet and your legs while you're sitting on the passenger side of the car. You've got these aren't headlights where the car is approaching still and you've got light that's touching the car's behind you, but light is touching on the front of your body while you're sitting in the front seat. That's not headlights. And by the way, this is my ability to vividly describe in detail where there is no forum under any circumstances. The state's pattern of conduct is underway. So you're talking about every single last one of them, whether the state is aiming its directed light onto my body or not, are engaging in the demonic behavioral pattern of relevant positioning. They are all monitoring via communication devices. And this is the sexual violence that these demons are engaging in while I'm uploading my images to the Google Drive. And so what I'm speaking about right now is this same directed light, this magnified light, the engineered light is what is filling this vehicle while the state is engaging in terrorism as it does so. All right. Filling this vehicle with that which is unnatural. And maintaining not only stationary directed light, but moving directed light all around. This is what you saw inside of Starbucks. That light the state touches my body with, molests my body with, moves all around inside of the car. That's called terrorism. All right. This is what the ordinary target individual is experiencing, cannot explain, does not have the legal skill set to create some sort of framework whereby they can enforce their rights. Likely it does not have the ability to discern that it's rooted in demonic conduct, demonic activity that surrounds them, such that they can break it down systematically so that it may be palatable, providing substantive, I would say, substantive context to understand this is both relevant positioning, light activity, and audible activity, i.e. federal stalking conduct, amongst the demon possessed, entirely demented as they engage in those criminal elements of monitoring, which, by the way, exceeds federal stalking. This is why I was subject to this conduct, the same exact elements, the same hallmarks, the same stalking and molestation with directed light while kidnapped, and I did not have a communication device anywhere near me. Didn't have any access to it. Okay, this is ritualistic satanic conduct. And the demonic are sex offenders, okay? They do not have any form. This is the revealing to the world, I suppose, what is the reality of the demon possessed. And let me be clear, in the United States of America, you have what are sex offenders all around you, and you don't know that you're being sexually violated. They know exactly what you're doing. You don't have privacy in the bathroom. The demon possessed know exactly what you're doing inside of the bathroom. So they're engaging in this demonic activity in a criminal method where they are engaging in what is federal stalking, and that's how you're prosecuting it. The perpetual sex offender touching with what is directed light while they're engaging in this demonic activity, touching and engaging in ongoing molestation, and understand it's a gigantic orgy while the demon possessed are touching with the state. You're engaging in crossing a path while the state is touching my breast with impossible light activity. You're a sex offender. You're engaging in audible activity creation while the state is molesting my breast with directed light. You're a sex offender. You're doing so. You're engaging in activity creation and relevant positioning, which is also light activity in the state's directed light, which is also criminal facilitation of both federal stalking and that sexual violence while the state is engaging in the aiming of directed light, and you yourself are creating that activity. You're a sex offender. And in one never contemplated by federal law, because it is a government that is a sex offender, and the government being identified by every single last license plate that I have already published, that I've already documented, including every commercial actor. This is why Amazon is not prepared to be identified as a sex offender that it is. These are new legal concepts, as they are in the shoes of the government, engaging in the criminal elements of monitoring, engaging in what is terrorism with the state, and being a perpetual sex offender. That's exactly what they will be prosecuted for civilly and criminally. Okay. These are concepts to be appreciated under the law because this is what the government is doing, and it is required as a matter of justice. All right. So you are talking about letting the facts create that policy within a constitutional construct. And I'm showing how that is perfectly feasible. Okay. It takes the ability to both discern what is ongoing and then being able and perhaps it takes one that is subject to it in order to do that. And so this is one with the ability to identify with the experience of the ordinary target individual lacking the ability to have any tool to enforce their rights. OK. And so this is documentation of what is ongoing terrorism while that directed light surrounds. The state is right now aiming directed light onto the floorboards of the passenger seat, where I'm looking down at the floor right now where my shoes are, and you have what is orange colored light just moving on the floor. Okay. That's absolutely impossible. And the demon possessed, the people of the state are acting with the state. That's an act of terrorism. All right. And the target individual, all they're going to have to do is document it upon establishing the pattern of conduct And I've shown how you can establish the pattern of conduct. It's the state's pattern of conduct. The state is stalking by police, fire, and ambulance, by helicopter and airplane. All right. The police are, the state is stalking directly. That's the pattern of conduct of the state. The people are acting pursuant to that. All right. It's not a fallacy. So you establish that, and all you have to do is document every terrorizing act of the state. And so this is ongoing documentation for which the entirety of that entity is going to be prosecuted in the same way that every word uttered out of the mouth of those demon-possessed actors at the Upland Public Library, the entirety of the entity is going to be prosecuted for that. All right. So it's called audible activity, and they are acting on behalf of the government. So not only are they threatening my life while they're engaging in harassment in magnified light. Okay. I mean, this is all manner of hypocrisy. And so this is how you are going to nail Satan, because this is the reality of what it is, of who they are. You're dealing with a satanic entity, as opposed to arguing with someone that you're just having a disagreement with. This is the pattern of conduct that's underway, and it's entirely satanic from beginning to end. And I'm showing the malice with which the demon-possessed act in every form that you can fathom. All right. And you are addressing it with the creation of policy to as a matter of justice, enforce the rights of that targeted individual, aware of the fact that a pattern of conduct is underway. And so there is an ongoing context to everything that is ongoing, everything that's ongoing. It's all occurring under the state's pattern of conduct. And that's what is relevant. That's what's key. That's what's central. And that's what's governing. All right. So I want to be clear. It's not just the directed light on the floorboards. It's directed light on my across my chest, on my breast, on my arm, while I'm sitting on the passenger side in the vehicle parked on G Street, which is facing west. And so the people of the state are driving what are east and west on G Street, and their headlights are in no way creating any light that's going to enter inside of the vehicle. Okay. They're driving straight down the street. You have what is the movement of light. The state is moving light all around inside of the car at the same time that they are driving by. This is the criminal facilitation while the demon is crossing path monitoring with a communication device. They're driving by and they're monitoring systematically one demon after another, after another, after another, after another, after another. And so what I uploaded to Google Drive, this was 48 images, I believe, to my Google Drive, and I'm going to publish onto my website because I want you to look at what is the state's engineered light. And when I say just like the state told on Starbucks, I mean literally you're talking about the demon possessed. You're recognizing the psychopath that really is unstable. All right, so this is speaking to the necessary punishment for prosecution. You're talking about a psychopath that would rather go out guns blazing, killing themselves, all right, getting clobbered, rather than to cease from that which is no longer going to happen. It's not going to happen. All right. Yeah. The secret is out. And not only that, you're going to severely pay, and you're not just harming yourself, you're harming everybody. It's not a matter of harm. Let me put that back. This is addressing pure evil. So you're talking about, you're not just incriminating yourself. You're not just prosecuting. You're not intensifying it for yourself. It's for everyone. Everybody's getting it. Okay. So you have what is a psychopath. This is a psychopath. And I'm using that term singularly on purpose. It's a public entity acting vicariously through the people of the state of California. They are together engaging in what is demonic activity. And I'm going to be clear, providing context, just like I did last night. I'm going to speak in very raw terms because this is the reality. And this is what I'm exposing. I am both exposing what is absolutely satanic conduct in the state of California, which is speaking to revealing that which is practiced by government. And I am also prosecuting and revealing the practicing of what is criminal monitoring and stalking by government. Okay. And the government is doing it through the people, in concert with the people. So you have what is, and as I speak, the demons, and I'm going to document them, they continue to cross paths, just like this is the psychopath. As you document and they're monitoring the documentation, it's like the sex offender, you reporting that they're repeatedly molesting you, and as you report, they continue to sneak into your room and molest you every single night. They will not stop violating your body even as you try to report. This is what the state is doing. Okay. This is the essence. This is the substance of what the state is doing on a whole other magnified level, though, because this is the government. That is the character of the demons. Okay. And in the background, continuously monitoring, continuously aiming directed light. This is the demonic activity by the entity. And I'm documenting that because I'm going to prosecute for that. So like I said, you have what is the presence of the directed light inside of the library. And I'm going to publish a slideshow because I want you to see, and this isn't new. I've been documenting it, but I'm punctuating a point because I went to Fontana yesterday, and the state's fake sun, not only before, like I said, this is already established when I came from Ontario, but I went to Fontana yesterday, and the fake sun is nowhere possibly over D Street, contrary to what I'm clearly capturing in video. And there is no way to try to posit that the fake sun that I'm capturing while I'm standing at the window of the Fontana Lewis Library and Technology Center at Spring Street and Sierra is in alignment with D Street and Euclid while I'm standing on that first level inside of the Upland Public Library, where the state is aiming light into the depths of that first floor area, not only onto the floor, into the depths where the book stacks are, past the office, underneath the desk that I'm sitting at, touching my legs and touching the wall, touching the inside of that adjacent office, and reaching upwards and touching the second floor. All right. And it's also in alignment with me at the Fontana Lewis Library, in perfect alignment with me at Spring Street and Sierra Avenue. All right, aiming that directed light inside of the venue of the Fontana Lewis Library and Technology Center, and covering the Miller Center with directed light. All right, you have what is also that ongoing documentation of where the state is engaging and acting like the sun is setting. Don't forget about Starbucks at 706 West Holt. Don't forget about Stater Brothers at 646 West Holt. All right, don't forget about what the state was doing at Mercy House while the sun was supposedly setting. And then I would walk back up Holt Boulevard. The state kept its fake sun on me, its directed light on that street, while it was also stalking with plane and helicopter as I would walk up and down that street. This is the pattern of conduct. Okay. And yes, the answer to that question is no. Being on the inside of the Upland Public Library at D Street. All right. And then hold on. Let me take it back. So not only is it along with D Street, as I exit the Upland Public Library, just like I captured in pictures, which I'm going to publish, the state's fake sun is along D Street. So while I am looking at D Street and I cannot see the opposite side of the building where the entrance is, all right, where I was sitting this morning with the bench here, I can't see that sky space. You cannot see that. And you're clearly seeing the fake sun through the D Street side. But yet as I exit, you're seeing the state that is keeping its fake sun in alignment with me as I exit the opposite side of the building. Despite the fact that the state is keeping its directed light aimed through the D Street side. All right. Disregarding the fact that the state's fake sun was at that same corner of D Street this morning, 10 o'clock, as I walked from the entrance side to the Euclid Avenue and D Street angle. And then it kept its fake sun at that same location all day. Okay. Moving back and forth. Absolutely impossible. That's the psychopath. Okay. That is the psychopath. That is, I mean, not only is it caught, and understand this is demonic activity that I'm breaking down, while this is the demonic engaging in criminal conduct. And so you're going to prosecute for that. But this is the psychopath. This is the nature of demons. Okay. This is the nature of the satanic entity that I'm revealing. It is a psychopath, knows very well. That's what that harassment yesterday was about. Fear. Okay, that's what it was about. It was about fear. It was about knowledge of documentation, and the psychopath reacts in that way. The psychopath engages in more of it. That's what I captured today. More directed light. Okay, that is damning to that's damning to the entire entity. Okay, let alone the fact that I'm there in Fontana and you are clearly under that, which is not the sun. I've already established this, and it's right here over my head while the Fontana Police Department are crossing path. All right, creating light, stalking in the path, driving it down every street around me while I'm walking down the street, and the fake sun is directly over my head at Sierra, and the state is suggesting that the sun is over D Street all day. Okay, this is what I am talking about with asininity. This is called stalking with light. No, that is not the sun, and there is no intelligent argument that one can make in order to suggest that. Okay, it's 8:36 p.m. and so like I said, I have already recorded this. I had to record it again because these demons, the perpetual sex offender, the stalker, that is the state of California, and every single last third party, the people of the state, they are psychopaths that are engaging in group satanic targeting that has been identified as what it is, which is terrorism, while they're engaging in federal stalking together. And I'm documenting them, and they're going to be prosecuted and named, okay, specifically named and identified by company, all right, by name, identity. All right. There's going to be, when I say they're revealing all secrets, I'm revealing all secrets, not only through my documentation, but through that prosecution. Okay. This is the creation of an example for the ages where no one will want to be associated with federal group stalking and monitoring in concert with a public entity. No one's going to want to have anything to do with that. And that is a matter of justice. It's actually necessary. You absolutely want to deter governments from engaging in monitoring American citizens. You want to deter American citizens or the people of any state from engaging in this system. And understand, like I said, I've already shown the character of demons. They're going to. but you are going to make the punishment so great. All right. So tremendous. It is something that is very heavily feared. All right. That is a policy designed to deter. All right. And designed to dismantle and deconstruct. It's 8:38 p.m. And that is P.O.C. And I will be posting a slideshow of what is magnified light. That is what was inside of the Upland Public Library today. I mean, just providing ongoing evidence against what was the ongoing harassment by entity and criminal summoning by that venue. And this is the people of the state acting together. All right. And so this magnified light is inside, and that's what the state is aiming inside of the car right now, while the demon possessed are pacing back and forth. All right. In the environment, you're looking at what are elements. The environment is present. So you are engaging in relevant positioning. You are engaging in group stalking when you are in the path. Whatever you want to call your presence being in your home, it's a third-party facilitating venue. There's a whole nomenclature where the state's pattern of conduct is underway. You don't have any form, none. And you are a terrorist. And as soon as you are identified, and you will be summarily prosecuted for that. And that's a necessary policy to enforce the rights of an American citizen subject to what is the criminal act of a government. Okay. So this is absolutely necessary. It is 8:39 p.m. This is ongoing terrorism. The state aiming directed light inside, and the state does this every night. This is what I'm documenting. This is not new, but I'm being very diligent with my documentation. Aiming just ridiculously impossible light, the same directed light, magnified light you're looking at as I capture inside of the venues, whatever venue I'm at. And I mean, I've given great examples inside of not only Upland Public Library today, but I like to mention Starbucks. I mean, it is just such a vivid, you are able to see the satanic system in operation as you witness that directed light. All right. Everything about it is revealing what they are doing and the condition. All right. This is what the state is aiming inside of this car. All right. Inexplicable light, driving east and west down the street past the vehicle. These are not headlights. This is the same exact pattern of conduct. And this is terrorism, carrying it everywhere that you go. All right. The state is there's a template that I've identified, and the state is engaging in that template everywhere that you go. OK, and doing so as the psychopath is monitoring the documentation, indeed engaging in trying to obstruct your ability to publish. That's what my screenshot is of trying to stop my ability to publish my podcast. Okay. And that's what that is, blocking the ability to publish. That's monitoring on the internet. That's obstruction of justice. That is the psychopath. Okay. It's 8:40 p.m. and that is P.O.C. Okay. I want to make one more note. Just as I am inside of the venue and you have what is my documentation of the state sounding sirens, which is a hallmark. Okay. The state is creating audible activity, and you're looking at the directed light. Those are the demon possessed that were filling that venue inside of the library. All of them focused on one that they are monitoring. While the state's providing an ongoing chorus of noise, those demons inside of that venue providing ongoing stalking methods of noise, and they're covered in directed light. All right. Everything that they're doing is achieving monitoring. That's why you're in the environment. And in the same way, like I documented on my podcast, that the sirens stop as I start recording. That's what the state does with directed light. As I turn on my camera inside of as I recite it on my podcast, for example, it stops appearing. Right. As I turn on my camera to capture it, and I don't have to lie. I've already captured impossible light activity in hundreds of videos. You already know what it is when I'm speaking of directed light, impossible light activity. That's what the state is doing inside of the car. All right. And that logically follows. That's the pattern of conduct. But I just want to be clear, as I start recording, this is the psychopath. I'm illustrating the ongoing threat to the life while the psychopath engages in federal group stalking and monitoring. Okay. Sitting around or flying around, laying around, hiding around, and aiming light inside of an area. Understand that's Satan. That is absolutely Satan. That's the psychopath. And doing so and starting and stopping based on what they're listening to you say, as they're aware that you're documenting it using a camcorder or recording it audibly, what's going on. That's a psychopath. Okay. And that is the same thing with the sexual violence, the perpetual sex offender. And so I want to document that. Like that's the pattern of conduct. That's called obstruction of justice as well. That is speaking to the absence of any argument for insanity. And understand, all kind of third parties are going to have, they're going to have all kinds of legally irrelevant claims, legally irrelevant. And the pattern of conduct itself is the evidence of the absence of any. There is no legal form. You don't have any form. There's no legal excuse. And there is no claim of insanity. It doesn't exist. The criminal obstruction of justice is the pattern of conduct. Okay. Anyway, it's 8:43 p.m. and I just want to document the psychopath stopping, aiming its directed light as I for example, turn on my camera or start speaking about it in real time, okay? Which is, that goes without saying, but I've already caught Satan red-handed in tons of videos, and I have shown it to the world what the government is doing, what Satan is doing through the government in the state of California, what Satan is doing through the people of the state of California, okay? It is 8:43 p.m. and that's P.O.C. All right, I just want to document it's 9:15 p.m. And so this is documentation of hundreds of third parties, that is the people of the state, as they are patrolling, driving by on G Street, and the state is repeatedly engaging in invasion of this vehicle with directed light, and the state is aiming it right next to me onto the console beside, just flashing of a directed light next to me while a car drives by, okay? Touching all over my body. This is hostility as they monitor my documentation, so the state engages in more molestation with directed light while the demon possessed. And understand, this is a molestation every single time the state, and that is the people drive by. Okay, this is what the entity is doing. I want to document that at 9:15, and I already documented tons of life place today. That goes, and I've already documented before, but I just want to be clear. Those that I've documented before the state did this right now are engaging in that ongoing act. It's 9:16 p.m. That's P.O.C. Eight DOE 313. Right, license 8GIV 235 8NMV 081. Ontario Police Group Stalking at the In and Out. Across from me where I'm in the parking lot in relevant position. 58QS 025 7NOE 310. Ontario Police license plate 1532794. Parked in the In and Out Plaza at the intersection of G Street and Vineyard in the city of Ontario. Vehicle number 1884. This is license 7ROY386, 8VLY 708, 14441B3, 7RMT 175. Group stalking outside at the In and Out. So while I'm at the plaza, it's the where the Sheraton is, where the Vineyard. I heavily documented this area. The state's fake sun remained over my head as I left third-party facilitating venue, the Ramada, on G Street. This is Penske in relevant position, stalking with light, and that is Ontario Police at the In and Out, loitering. It is currently 9:30 p.m. And I just told you about the ongoing molestation of my body with directed light. That doesn't stop. This is P.O.C. while I'm en route. This is federal stalking while the people are driving all around using their vehicles to engage in the criminal elements of monitoring. It is currently 9:31 p.m. 7XFR 682. It's Ontario Airport engaging in federal stalking. It's a vehicle with the Ontario Airport logo on it. Group stalking in the parking lot. They're stalking with light. This is what they do. They line the path. This vehicle 59917V1. All right, license 7VVJ378. License QD2P46 6TJE991 5VNC441 7MMJ260. This is third-party facilitating venue of the Ontario Airport. They're monitoring, maintaining presence, license plate 6EOU503 8PRY818 8C94008 6WDX640 8RGP360 8AHD005 4YWN407. Five GWX 499. It's 9:32 p.m. Seven ROY 386. Eight POX 720. 6HCR 628, 8WPZ 639, 8ESF 081. License AJ64F64, I believe that's a paper plate. 8LAB274, 8WCV107, 8Z, hold on. Let's see, I want to get this one stalking with light. 55410J2. And this one over here. Stops right behind me with their lights on. They're stalking in the path using their cars. And they know they're being documented, so I'm just documenting demons. Usually as a passenger in the vehicle subject to federal stalking. This is what I was subject to for years, not knowing that I was subject to federal stalking while I was driving my own car. 8SDZ082. And this is inside of a community, so I'm going to read license plates because they are all monitoring. 8FHE580. VEL458. 8BOZ334, 8GHK840, 4BCT304, 6NSC355, 8LAS615, 8KLZ966, 8DMH254, turns on their hazards, 7ROY386, enters into this facilitating venue, 14441B3. 3LHX920, 8VKT546, and that's confirmation. That's the pattern of conduct. They're all monitoring. 8DMG586. Not that I need it. The pattern of conduct ends away. I'm documenting, but these demons are sure enough abiding by the code of conduct. 5FGL510, 8XFR146, 6YEE311. So they turn on their hazards, and you can sit inside of your home and engage. Let me get this one. 8SDZ082 is parked in stall number 129 of this facilitating venue. 7WLG989, 828NB handicap, 7XER076. F94OML, that's a Utah plate. 7FBB994, 8MYB341. RAY Heart ART 7JBF127, 8PIB640 W232RO, 8XNV027, 4XTH127, 4HRS018, 7HBZ926, 8KHM338, 8FHP898, 5XDK102, 7SXW019, 8SHC326, 8BQJ021, 7UST280. Oh, let's wait for this one. Light activity creation. This is a demon that already knows that I'm coming, so they're stalking in the path. And they turn on their blinders. It is 9:36 p.m. And that's also train activity in the background while they're just sitting here in the dark. Right? They're stalking, and I have multiple shadows in this car. They're just sitting there. And again, this is a demon that knows that they're being documented, and they're just sitting there. Now, if this was me and somebody was just sitting there, I would drive off. I'm documenting, though, and so I'm showing you what is the conduct of one that knows that they're being documented, and they are engaging in the pattern of conduct, maintaining presence with light. It's 9:37 p.m. Oh, now turning on a turn signal. Didn't have a turn signal, just sitting there in relevant position. I want to get this license plate. Because if they had to turn, they would have already turned. 8BEX733. All right, that's loitering in relevant position. And another one comes driving toward this direction as I turn. This is stalking in the path. License plate. And they don't turn. Okay, by the way, 7XEV853. They sit right there behind me. And this one is coming forward in front of me. All right, that's 8XBEV, or the license plate I read, 733. Can't really see it. But I read it while I'm driving past. 8XEV853. This one approaching is 8KWH004. 8TIZ796. 8TTM495. 8TTL329. Yeah, this one that's carport lights of this community. That's a facilitating venue. Okay, directed light is present also. It's a facilitating venue. And you have what is the stalking conduct of the people while they're present, stalking in the path, and light activity being created. The carport lights turn off. Okay, that's light activity. 8VYX725, 6AZT959, 5ZCG105, KQT656, that's Colorado plate, 5TLT281, Q47L14. All right, that same license plate behind, it's use of directed light. Their headlights are not so bright, that they are blinding while they're turning behind me. That's directed light. What's the state is always doing? He's creating light activity while he's pacing around behind me, creating light. That's a demon that's monitoring in a car. 6ZXR419, 6BSB384. 8CEG589, 00053B3, 52QS597. And I also want to document this is a community that I was subject to federal stalking at. I actually worked here before. It's a facilitating venue. I am in directed light now. The state was monitoring, keeping its fake sun over me at this venue and engaging in what is that pattern of what is harassment while I was surrounded by demons and not knowing that I was being subject to federal stalking while I was subject to harassment. I will give the name of this community in a second. I just want to get a couple more license plates. 47194P2. DN345, that's a handicap. 8MOT733, 5DXX878, 70SH9D4, 8WEM272, 7MBU319, 8MIZ329. And again, it is currently 9:42 p.m. Alrighty. $6GIB210, 6GTB210. It is hold on, I'm trying to get out of this. This is an Avante property, and it is on G Street. And I want to read here we go. That's weird. Oh, there you go. Okay.
address is 1639, 1679 Avante Apartment Homes. All right, this is on G Street. All right, the state is always stalking via aircraft, and that's exactly what I'm looking at right now. It is, let me see. Here, 5XPX 637. It's 9:43 p.m. All right, license 7JCZ321, 8JWNN821, I believe, 8R35186, 8JAS370, 6FUE037, 5XXH229, 7ZRN184, 7JEK095, 7ZUD081, 8LLD679, 7G29643, 8UOW171, 253262, 8VEX931, 6XBF912, 6JUL044, license 04791X1, 8HEX343, 8VRL762, 7TVG840, 7HLM215, 7PDH620, 7NW, oh, well, you can scratch that, I can't see the rest of it. Right on ahead. This is what? One directed light is on the wall. I'm going to document this license plate, and at their this residence, which is a third-party facilitating venue, 8FXK 864 is monitoring and stalking with light, and directed light is outside as well on the grounds, on the wall, on the brick wall right here beside me. 54236C3 4XTY 469. 6CEH 684. This is license plates. Stalking in the path. License 7UWE 505. 7ZUC 916. 8FCW 635. 7ZFM 726. 7RIU 131. CRW4109. That's an Arizona plate. 4ZUM11M, I believe.
identified audible activity with which these group stalkers in their homes are monitoring. I'll read some license plates. 7EPY228. And that's literally a microphone. It sounds like I'm in the engine, right? That's amplification. And that's demonic activity coinciding with directed light that's in the car around me. 8VKB250, 8BGN332. 75001R2. That's Clean Harbors. That's a commercial vehicle. This is the means of just identifying the people of the state, and this is the state system. 6E48012. This is why I'm subject to an ongoing molestation with impossible light that is entering and moving around in the car, while amplification of audible activity using their home. 8EGS171. Sorry, 8LGS171. Directed light inside of this vehicle, moving around in the back seat. License plate 8GON087, 7ZHS970. What is this? Want to get at El Morado and Allen. Oh yeah, I documented this area too. Walking from third-party facilitating venue, Baymont Inn. HPS 3636, that's an out-of-state, looks like a New York plate, 7EPY228. Back toward Holt area, state flying over by commercial plane. State's fake sun was over Baymont Inn, and it remained over me while I walked back toward the Holt Boulevard area, where Bonneview, Allen turns into Bonneview, 5XOV204, and they are monitoring indeed in their homes. 8DHG446, 7FBR959, 30764G1. 04860B3, where you have amplification of activity, amplification in the same way that directed light and a fake sun, those serve massive monitoring purposes. 8GCN898, in addition to the fact that it is demonic. 4XEH422, 14632Y2, 6CTT885, 6RMB403, BZ744 handicap, 6NKX886, 4JOK133, BJTL076, 6VPF128, 6YIX428, 8RAN055, 8TJ277, 8TJY277, I believe. 8GZF836, 8LSA827, 5TYR353, 2RWC933, 8TNY374, 4X36J76, 7ACU156, 'It's a paper plate anyway. I'm at Sultana and G Street, where the state kept its fake sun over. I documented the Central Language Academy, 43715R2, as the state's fake sun remained behind the vehicle advancing from what was the day N, 7FSU430, and they were monitoring with minor children. Fake sun was over the venue. This is where I'm at right now, and I'm driving down G Street, just giving a notion of where I'm at. And now I'm passing Plum on G Street. 8CMU219, 8JXD141. Group stalkers are using their vehicles as light while I'm crossing path outside. They're just using their vehicles as light for crossing a path, stalking in the path, 8VDJ813, 7MJR090, 05419, 8NIA678. Ow. Go right on ahead. License 8CMY364, 5EWU 546. 6D19228. I can't really see that one. 8VI B814. 6NEV 229. And it is 9:54 p.m. All right, group stalking on the surveillance cameras at Bank of America. It's 9:55 p.m. The Bank of America that is on Euclid Avenue. They're on camera and they're running into their vehicle right now, which is a Honda Civic. They're maintaining light. Understand, they're just going to the ATM. That's their form for using their headlights. They're stalking in the path. 7UOZ 275. These are the same exact tactics of demons. The state is engaging in an expansive system. And I'm just identifying as many demons as possible. They're monitoring. And they're on the surveillance cameras of the Bank of America ATM. All right, it is 9:55 p.m. Directed light just on the buildings. It's not their headlights. It's the same directed light that I've shown you day in and day out as I'm driving around, 8TJL 399, 6HNU 343. $5BVU 582, AX85K41, 8RHK 143, 8NNP 699, 7BWG 440, 8KTV 911, 7DGR 014, 9RG handicap, 6UYX 457, maintaining light in the path, sitting in the middle of the parking lot. With headlights on, that's called stalking with light. Audible activity, 8PSB 167. Okay, was maintaining presence and moves as I approach. That's audible activity creation while they're engaging in the demonic act of stalking with light. License 5KZC007, 6NGW 189. It's 9:57 p.m. This is the plaza of the Rite Aid and the Pizza Hut and the Kids Empire at G Street and Euclid. License 6P, I can't really see that one. 5HTF 916. 19819Y2. All right, group stalkers on the side streets. Alrighty, this is license plate 6PZD 617, 7NRK 822. Demons stalking in the dark. 7XAC 079, 6NNJ 207, and this one using their car stalking in the path. 6RFU 871 knows that I'm coming. All right, it's flying. They're fleeing, but also in flight, creating light activity, and is in the state's directed light. Okay, it is Palm and F Street. 7BQG 318. It's 9:58 p.m. 7JDR 436, 5DNP 756, 7XUE 070. All right, 4ZAY 638, 4MLN 400, 8MLF 125, 6NNF 970, 8JZG 293, 5YYG 649, 6KSX 649, I believe. 8RTT 229, 5UBV 367, 7C 39738, 8BHT 917, 6DIT 768, 7NYF 576, 8JAK 733, 8TQX 209, 8G52821, 7BXR 845, 4YWD 587, can't see the rest of that. 5UYM 885. Group stalking on the cameras at 711 at Vine and G Street, 636 North Vine. 8CIE 747, stalking in the path and is exiting the driveway as I approach. Stalking with light headlights on, facing the parking lot in a white Mustang. This is a Latino male. I'll get that license plate. 8LUY 949. Glasses on, short buzz haircut. Holding a camera. This is his form. Remember, they don't have any form. This is what is his outward appearance for engaging in the demonic behavioral pattern. This is light on the wall, headlights of another vehicle, while he is standing on the parking lot taking pictures in the middle of the night, 10 p.m. with a camera. All right. How many demons have I captured engaging in photography? Countless, especially at the back end street of Emporia. 7MTK426, 5TRU229, 7RXM767, 8URY760. And it is 636 North Vine. They're on the surveillance cameras at the venue. Directed light is on the venue, right? All around. 8NQC980. There's no form. You can hold a camera or not hold a camera. 32521G1. It's 10 p.m. on the dot. Okay. Demon starts music with simultaneity to my operating. AX36J76 is the paper plate of the Altima sitting at 636 North Vine. 5TRU229. 5KZC007. Aiming their lights on the brick wall, 7KCX085. This is demonic, all right? They're creating light on the surfaces. That's what the state does with its directed light. You're seeing the same exact conduct, okay? 8PRY448. And this one, I already read this license plate, 32521G1. They're just maintaining presence in the directed light in the parking lot, all right? Driving off now. As I'm reading their license plate, they could stay or move, but I just want to be clear with simultaneity to reading their license plate, 32521G1, that stalker that was just maintaining presence in the path drives out of the parking lot. That's called group stalking, okay? While you're holding a camera, you're group stalking. While you are playing your music, it's called audible activity creation, you're group stalking, all right? There is no form. They are present on behalf of the government. The government is surrounding in these cars, which are methods of audible and light activity. 8PRY448, I believe, in case I didn't read that. It is 10:06 p.m. and this is P.O.C. at 636 North Vine Avenue. All right, that's these African American thoughts in the vehicle playing this loud music. That's activity creation. It's P.O.C. All right, license plate. The same demons that where the states molest me with light. Driving up now. Come right on in because I'm going that way. Go ahead. License plate. This little demon right here. Let me go back and get that then. Hold on. These are the same ones that are driving past the car and the state's molesting my body. BT11G98. Okay. License plate. 7WLN607. And by the way, it's the same at the Avanti apartments. They're one entity. All right. I just went and got a whole bunch of names of demons. The ongoing system is underway everywhere that I am at all times. And where the state is monitoring, documentation is such that you identify any and whoever it is that you can that the state is acting in concert with, and the state is acting in concert with everyone. The people all around in relevant position are therefore subject to documentation. Aiming light in the path, group stalking. That is an act of terrorism. 5FYU793. It's an act of terrorism because the people and the state stalk with light, always touching with light, always following with light, invading with light. This is how you have what is the group engaging in that ongoing demonic behavioral pattern, which is the terrorism. All right. That is that third party just hiding in and when I'm breaking down what she's doing, she's actually hiding she's not hiding because she's in a car, but literally she is hiding because she's assuming she has form. So she is in a vehicle sitting in the alley with her headlights on, waiting for me to cross past so that she can touch. That's the form. All right, so I stop in order to avoid that, and she crosses path. The same criminal system is underway. That's crossing path. She crosses path with light, and I am in a vehicle. I am being subject to monitoring as I create activity. I'm in a car with lights on. I am talking. That's audible activity. The state is aiming directed light inside of this car. Okay, that's why my hands have shadows in front of me on the console and to the side of me. All right, just like I showed you at Fontana Lewis Library and Technology Center. My one leg had 3 shadows. I have 3 shadows while I'm in the car. Okay. This is directed light. I am being systematically monitored. So I am literally reading every license plate. The reason why I'm subject to directed light in the car is because they're all monitoring. So I'm reading every single license plate. That's how that documentation is going to go. That's how that prosecution is going to go. It is indiscriminate. The government is maintaining that environment, and the people are maintaining that environment, and you are subject to it. There is no form whatsoever, in the same way that there is no stopping that P.O.C. The pattern of conduct doesn't stop. Documentation is not going to stop either. And you identify the people of the state indiscriminately as they are ceaselessly engaging in that life-threatening and demented conduct of federal stalking and the practicing of satanic activity. And that's just what I did right now. All right. It is 10:11 p.m. and that was all P.O.C. That's a helicopter flying right over Fern. And that's sirens. So that's terrorism by the entities. That's P.O.C. It's 10:26 p.m. The helicopter flying over me again. 10:48. I just went around the block reading the license plates. They're all monitoring to that activity while the state is patrolling in the sky space, and they're all patrolling around, driving around. They're all monitoring. It's P.O.C. It's 10:49 p.m. Directed light, license plate 7YEH788. So as they are driving past the car, before they even approach the car, the state is aiming directed light inside of my vehicle. And well, it's not my vehicle, inside of the vehicle. This is the presence of light. I'm already in directed light. I already showed you the environment that remains while those demons cross path using a car. It is not their headlights. That's the state aiming light inside of the vehicle while they are in the path. That is criminal facilitation by the people and by the state. Together they are monitoring, and that is the demonic conduct while they are engaging in terrorism with directed light. License plate 6XLP395. These are demons patrolling. Okay, P.O.C. 11:06 p.m. All right, I just captured video so you can see what I'm capturing on my podcast, the state patrolling over in helicopter. And so I did capture video of what is directed light, where I am sitting. It's being aimed inside of the vehicle and along the wall while the demon possessed, the people of the state. The people are crossing path. That is, Satan is repeatedly pacing back and forth, driving past in relevant position in directed light that I am sitting in while the state is flying over repeatedly. That is patrolling via helicopter. Okay, which is the simultaneous creation of audible activity as well in that directed light. This is federal stalking amongst the demon possessed. That's why I just captured in video at 10:58 p.m. And that is the P.O.C. So what I'm showing in the video, first of all, I'm showing the car door, and the lock for the car door has double shadows. You see 2 shadows of the door lock. That's directed light. No ordinary light creates 2 shadows of anything. Okay, it's the same 1 door lock, 2 shadows. That's the indication of directed light. While, by the way, the state is the incredible occurrence of a helicopter flying over, which is a daily occurrence, which is the pattern of conduct. Okay, so this is the tying together of what is that system. So I just want to speak to what I just documented on video. Take a look at that. It's P.O.C. It's 11:04, an ongoing P.O.C. Immediately after the helicopter flies over, Union Pacific, because Amtrak does not have a running train, and that's at 10:59 p.m. Union Pacific is the guise under which the sound of a train, which you're not going to hear any train. There is no train activity you're going to hear in the residential area up here at this location at 630 North Fern. at this vantage point at Fern and G Street. That's called audible activity in directed light following the helicopter activity. So that is the maintenance of noise, helicopter, train, while the people are pacing and the state is pacing by helicopter. That's P.O.C. That is the terrorism while the entity is engaging in what is demonic methods of federal stalking. It's 11:05 p.m. 11:07 p.m. following the patrolling by those vehicles, those demons driving vehicles, the amplification of plane activity at 11:07 p.m. That's P.O.C. Dietz towing, D-I-E-T-Z, Dietz towing. I've actually captured video of those demon-possessed actors using that brand as a means of federal stalking, terrorism, and sexual molestation. This was in the city of Ontario, where I was at Holt Boulevard and Lemon. Directed light was all over the wall, all over the sidewalk beside that vehicle, under the fake sun. And this demon-possessed stalker was driving a Dietz towing vehicle. I've already documented them, and this is crossing path using that truck right now, 11:08 p.m. Right, directed light. Oh, driving the opposite direction. This is a white SUV turning onto what is that? The alleyway? Carriage alley? Parking at a residence nearby, which is a facilitating venue. It's 11:10 p.m. Directed light in the car while they do so. Group stalkers at the end of the street aiming their headlights on Fern. It's 11:11 p.m. So this is, let's see. Next door is 614 North Fern Avenue. At 610 North Fern Avenue. License plate 7B. That's audible activity. 7BTJ448, and that's audible activity here. And that's at third party facilitating venue 610 North Fern. It is 11:11 p.m. So let me describe what they're engaging in, because regardless of the direction that they're driving, the directed light manifests throughout the vehicle. Just as I was describing, while the state was having a field day, just aiming it all over my body, and increasing so as I'm documenting. And so as they're driving from G Street, that is driving west on G Street and then turning south onto Fern, where the rear windows are covered. The rear window is covered with a windshield blocker. And so is the front window as well. And you have what is directed light that manifests inside of the car, the same directed light while they cross path. And then their vehicle is the means of light activity while they're crossing path. The state, as you hear, amplifying audible activity while their vehicle lights remain on, right? And they are in the path necessarily in order to document. So they are stalking in the path and creating activity while amplified audible activity is being created as well. That is P.O.C. and that is terrorism while the state's environment is present and they are contributing to that environment, engaging in relevant positioning. It's 11:13 p.m. 11:27 p.m. The state is flying in a circle over the vehicle in a helicopter, and while doing this, also engaging in aiming directed light inside of the vehicle and repeating this act of molesting my breasts with directed light. I just want to document that, and I just added more names, the people of the state, the demon-possessed stalkers that are monitoring with that sex offender. They are sex offenders that I'm identifying by license plate, okay? And engaging in that sexual violence and terrorism right now as the state is flying over in a helicopter. They're one entity, and I just want to be clear, the sex offender engaging in that ongoing repetitious sexual violence with knowledge of the documentation. That's the psychopath in action, okay? It's 11:28 p.m., and just as I showed you in video, that's what the state is doing, flying in a circle circle, amplifying helicopter activity, demons on the street driving around, light moving all around, directed light, and inside of the car, and touching on my breasts with this directed light, okay? It's P.O.C. 11:28 p.m. All right, true to form. All right, I am literally prosecuting Satan, who is acting in the flesh, that are the people of the state. This is demon possession. This is the people of the state engaging in satanic conduct, which is sexually violent, as I'm documenting it. And so this is the demonic behavior, okay? While you document what is absolutely demented and ritualistic stalking, while federal stalking is underway, sexual violence is inherent to the pattern of conduct. And this is also terrorism while the state, and this is the state acting directly as it's stalking in a helicopter. This is the pattern of conduct. And it is also sexual violence coinciding with it. The state intentionally engaging in the repeated molestation of my breasts with directed light. Okay. This is while the state is flying in a circle. This is a psychopath flying in a circle. So let me give you raw language again. This is Satan, the psychopath that is flying in a circle above me and amplifying audible activity. These are the elements of monitoring and the outward demonstration of demon possession at the same time. This is terrorism and sexually being sexually violated by such terrorists. That's the state of California. That's what I just captured in video, 11:36 p.m. You're going to want to witness that. What I document on my podcast, the state continues to fly in a circle over and over. So I do capture another video just so you can see. And the state is indeed flying in a circle and amplifying the sound of helicopter inside of the car while it is repeatedly molesting my breasts. And the people of the state understand this is satanic conduct, and the psychopath derives pleasure out of sexually violent, tormenting. This is the conduct where the demonic and derive pleasure from doing that which is wicked and twisted, perverted, predatory, etc. This is what I'm documenting. And this is also the demonic behavioral pattern. As you, for example, what I have done, repeatedly documented very damning direct evidence for which there is no argument on behalf of a government. This is a sure prosecution, okay? And so I'm dealing with what is Satan, though. So the demonic behavioral pattern, the psychopath, I'm speaking to the impermissible threat. This is the conduct. This is how demons conduct themselves. And this is a government. This is speaking to the impermissible threat to the very life while you are sexually violating one who you are monitoring their documentation. You are aware while you're sexually violating. All right. This speaks to the prosecution, and every third party that I document, they are engaging in this group orgy, filling on my breasts with that which is unnaturally occurring, impossible light activity, and doing so, let me be clear, with knowledge of what I specifically document. Demons engage in repeating it more and more and more as you pointed out. Okay. This is, that's the demonic conduct. That's a threat where the government is engaging in satanic activity. Okay. That's terrorism and sexually violent terrorism. This is pursuant to what I have advocated, what I have designed and intended to prosecute and enforce. Systematic infliction of inhumane suffering. This is exactly what the demonic do. And this is the mental, I'm bringing into relevance, because this is what is directly relevant to what they're doing, the mind state of the demonic. Okay. Very violent sex offenders, and then engage in affirmative sexually violent predatory conduct while federal stalking is underway, practicing what is satanic, ritualistic, very disturbing behavioral patterns. And this is that which is being accomplished by a government in concert with the people of the state. And so I just want to make sure I point that out. You'll see that on video. It's captured at 11:37 p.m. at 630 North Fern Avenue. And I did capture I did identify, in other words, document more and more third parties understand they're the same entity. They are all at this, and this is the reality of what is federal stalking with the government, by a government, in concert with the government. They engage in sexual violence together. So if you can fathom in your mind, because this is the reality of what they are engaging in while federal stalking is underway, these are the demon possessed, these are terrorists engaging in sexually violating you together. Okay. While the criminal elements of monitoring are being maintained, this is how all of them are engaging in what is an orgy that you did not consent to. Okay. And using a helicopter to terrorize in addition to that. It's 11:41 p.m. That's P.O.C.
Oh, no, I did.
Ontario
I did
Police
play.
License 156887,
Vehicle
1003 at Holt and Vineyard, and on traffic cameras. AMR driving east on Holt Boulevard, also crossing path. This is P.O.C. 7AXP185. They're monitoring, and it's 12:57 a.m. 8TIZ 742. Group stalking in the parking lot of Jack in a Box. Okay, P.O.C. It's 1:20 a.m. 8CIF 824, 6ZGG 492, 8XRD 814, 5MSS 650, 321 JPD, that's an Oregon plate, 8VIF 255, 6LCW 339, 7R189, 7R18694, and 8WFS 460. This is the Jock in the Box that is at Vineyard and Holt Boulevard.
Well, let's get our food before it gets cold.
5AXK979. This is in the plaza of the 76, the Circle K, where they're monitoring in relevant position and monitoring at that Jock in the Box. It's 1:44 a.m.